All right, guys, Cotton Grammar Assimilation webinar. We've got a locked and loaded lineup for you tonight in a very special edition, SEO Fact or Fiction. We've got a number of incredible questions lined up for you that's going to be answered by us, and we're going to be 100% honest with you on these questions. I don't think anything like this has ever been done before, seen anything like this done before. Some of the most difficult questions that you probably sat around pondering that really didn't matter but maybe could help you. We're going to cover all difficult topics tonight. You're going to find out what we're doing, what our answers to these questions are. I'm going to tell you that participation tonight is going to be very, very, very important. Once again, guys, we are in the free OMG group. It is tagged right up here in the OMG Way group. And guys, just go ahead and give me a hashtag truth in here if you are following us, because I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. What we're going to do is when we ask a question, we want to see if you are right in what you say. We want to hear your answers and how many people actually know that question. So you're going to be participating back and forth in here, and you're going to be putting down fact or fiction before we answer. And how it's going to work is after we answer the question, fact or fiction, that's all we're going to say. We're not going to explain the answer. If you want us to elaborate further on the question, you're going to have to do hashtag explain. We need 100 hashtag explains on any question that you guys want us to elaborate on. If you guys don't feel that it's important enough for us to elaborate on the question, we'll move on to the next question. So that's how it's going to work. So participation is going to be absolutely vital for this. So make sure that you've got up your OMG Way. Make sure that you're ready to type in fact or fiction. And I would love to see your answers along with all of us so you can answer these questions along with us to find out your knowledge and play SEO fact or fiction with us. So what we're going to do is just say hello to all the guests that are on here in no particular order. And first we'll start out with the guy that's always been on, my good friend's been on every assimilation webinar that I've had. Derek Awasiak, what's up, buddy?
Yo, not much. How are you?
Doing fantastic. You ready to play a little bit of fact or fiction?
Oh, I'm ready.
Great.
Spin the wheel.
And then we've got my good buddy Fletch. What's up, man? Fletch, you with us, buddy? Fletch might have had to do a quick bathroom break. We'll just go to saying hello to Stephen Floyd. He's with us. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Cotton. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You ready for some fact or fiction?
I am ready to go.
Good. And we have my good buddy Joe Marfolio, man. And Joe, we got a lot of good questions, and a lot of you guys put in a lot of good questions and added them in here. You going to be ready to go tonight?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited. Been waiting for this since you posted it on Facebook, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Then we have the original one-man gang himself who's going to be participating in some questions. I already know him. He's probably testing SEO in the background. He might have a lot of fun with this as he goes along, but he might answer some questions, some not. But we're just lucky to even have him answer a few of them for us. What's up, Greg?
What's going on, Cotton? It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of cool questions that I've lined up here. I probably spent more time preparing for this webinar than any other webinar that I've done. So should be pretty good. So
really good idea. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. But what we'll do is just to give you guys kind of a breather to get acclimated to stuff. What we're going to do is just answer a few questions. And what we'll do is we're all organizers so we can see your questions. I'm going to let either Steven or Joe or Derek look at your fact or fiction questions, and we'll pause at one time, and I'll have them say, hey, guys, we got a really good question from one of the members, and we'll go to one of your questions and do it on the spot, fact or fiction. Guys, it's really important. I want you guys to play along with us because it's interesting to see just the knowledge. And I know that Greg and Fletch, who teach a lot of you newbies that come in and have kind of given you your foundation of knowledge, I think they're going to be excited to see how well that their training has kind of moved over us and how the knowledge we've got. I know that Steven's excited about it as well. And I am too, just to see how many people get the answers right with us or what people are doing. Guys, some of these questions are going to divide us. And you're going to see what's going to happen. Questions, I will answer fact. Joe might answer fiction. So if you want us to explain the polarity in that, you're going to have to do hashtag explain 100 times. So it's going to be a pretty cool event we got going on right now. But we'll just jump in and get with a few questions right now and see what we do there. See what we got going on. Guys, give me a 1 if you can hear me. There's like some people saying that they can't hear us very well. Just great. We got a 1 there. Okay. We'll just go ahead and you know what? I'm going to pull out some fact or fictions here before we get to ours. Let's just start out with this because I think everyone's got fact or fiction on their mind. I think this webinar is going to go long enough to where we might not have to do any questions. We can just jump right into it. So we're going to take straight into the audience and or the members and just get with them. It says Google will not approve your Google My Business if you use a UPS or other virtual office. So, guys, that's going to be our first question. The rest of them are going to be on slides. So, Google will not approve your Google My Business if you use a UPS store or other obvious virtual office. Guys, let me see your answers. Is that fact or is that fiction? So, we're going to let everyone kind of load this up here and just see where we're at. Hold on, I'm going to have to bring this up to this picture and bring it over here. Hold on. And let's let everyone do here. So we got, what do you think about this, Stephen, knowing that this is kind of your area of expertise here with all what you're seeing? Seeing a lot of facts. There's some fictions on here. Look at that. There's a lot of fiction and a lot of facts. Looks like it's split. So, Stephen, I'll let you go ahead and you do fact or fiction on this one right here. Is this fact or is this fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction. Derek, is this fact or fiction?
That's fiction.
Okay. Joe, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
I just want to say fact just to stand out, but
Greg is always going to be the hammer, is going to be the judge on all this. Greg, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Great. So, guys, this is absolutely fiction. Fiction. So if you want us to explain this, just so you guys get acclimated with what we're doing, we're going to need to see 100 explains. And they better happen quickly after the answer. We'll just immediately move on to the next question. Its next question is, to rank in a super competitive niche, can PBNs be the only thing you do? Fact or fiction? Greg Morrison.
100% fact.
Fletch.
yeah, that's a fact.
Derek.
Sure, fact.
Stephen.
Fact.
Joe.
Fact.
Great. So I don't think we need to do that. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of jump in here right now and just start with the slides. And we'll just go with this. So guys, this is going to be the question right here. And I want to see what you guys are going to do with this answer right here. And I want to see your answers right here. Claiming your Google My Business will increase your rankings. Is that a fact or is that a fiction? So I'll wait till we get a few here. If I've got dual screen so I can see. Looks like a lot of people are saying this is a fact. I don't see very many fictions. There's a few, but looks like the majority of the OMG people think that this is a fact. So I'm just going to do in random order. Derek, is this fact or fiction?
I'll say fact just for this one.
Okay. Steven, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Great. Fletch.
I would say fact.
Okay. Greg Morrison.
Is there an in between?
Yeah.
See, that's why I said this is going to be kind of hard, because just answering fact or fiction, this is going to be a little difficult for a lot of us to lean towards. So if you had to lean towards one, Greg, what would you say?
I'll say fact because it can't hurt you.
Great. And Joe Marfolio, is this fact or fiction?
I say fact.
Okay. I say fiction. So we're going to let's see if there's no explains coming on. So I don't think anyone needs an explanation on that. We'll just wait and see. And nah, everyone seems to be okay with that. So we'll just move on to the next one. So let me move this over here so I can get it. Hold on. Uh-oh. We're getting a lot of explains now. A little bit late. Guys, you're going to have to be quick. Like as soon as you hear someone say something that you don't understand, you're like going to have to do #explained very, 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 very quickly. Next question. We'll move it right along. Trying to rank for Bing is a waste of time. Guys, in OMG, is this fact or is this fiction? We are getting a lot of fictions. There's some facts over there. It's interesting to see what some of the people are saying. Looks like it's split about 50-50. We're going to start out with Fletch first on this and see what Fletch says. Fletch, does it matter if you rank in Bing or not? Is that fact or fiction?
Well, that's a different question than what is on the screen there. So the question on the screen,
Okay.
I would say fact. Question you asked, I would say is fiction. So there's value to ranking in Bing. Spending time trying to rank there, I think, is a waste.
Exactly. Right. Stephen Floyd.
Fiction.
Greg Morrison.
I would say fact because the way we rank automatically ranks in Bing.
Great. Joe Marfolio.
I would say fact.
Okay. Derek.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fact.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with see, I know what I was trying to say, but I put these slides up so quick. I'm just gonna have to say.
Are you gonna go links more for Bing?
No, I'm not, but it does help the rank in Bing, so I'm gonna say fiction. So there's different. So I think that everyone there is needs no explanation on that really. So let's just put it this way. It doesn't hurt to rank number one in every search engine in the world, but trying to rank specifically for Bing could be a waste of time. So,
I've made plenty of affiliate commissions from Bing. I'll tell you that.
exactly.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you're gonna try and rank for Google.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Next question. There is no point getting more than one link from the same domain as it doesn't pass more value. Joe Marfolio. Well, hold on. Let's let the audience answer this. Guys, is this fact or fiction? Let's see how many people of where we're at with this. So we have a lot of. See where we're at here. I have to refresh. Looks like we're getting a lot of fiction. A lot of fiction. So looks like the majority of the audience says it's fiction. So Joe, what's your answer to this?
I mean, it depends. It could be pretty broad if you're talking about subdomains or regular domains.
Fact or fiction, Joe? Fact or fiction?
Okay, fiction. You got it, fiction. Okay.
Right. Fletch, fact or fiction?
I'm going with fiction on this one.
Okay. Greg Morrison?
Fiction.
Okay. Stephen Floyd?
Fiction.
Great. And I also say...
and me, fiction.
Yeah. There's I'm like trying to remember to get to everyone, so I might have to stick some different order. And guys, if I skip you or if I go over something on purpose, just remind me. I'm going to say this is fiction as well. So if you guys want an explanation, you're going to have to be very, very, very quick with the hashtag explains. We need 100 of those. And some of these are going to be very confusing to a lot of you. I think a lot of you guys are going to watch this webinar over and over and over again because there's some pretty good questions on here. We'll move on to the next question because we didn't get enough hashtag explains quick enough. And it's, you should follow all your outbound links from your money site because it bleeds juice. OMGers, is this fact or fiction? Let's see where we're at. The last question, it looks like it was unanimously fiction, but this is a little more, I like to think people are going to be split here. So guys, is this fact or fiction? I think people stopped. Here we go. They're flowing in right now. So it looks like that we are getting, people are just automatically doing explain. People say fiction. So I'm just going to go to the bottom and work my way up. Stephen Floyd, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Joe Marfolio, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Derek Owasiak, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Great. I say that it is fiction as well. So it seems like everyone, not enough explains yet. I think everyone will start catching on once they start getting into
Pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Move on to the next question. Guys, this is a good one. Guys, now this is
Who's that? I don't even know that name.
I messed it up, but guys, was Fletch once a male stripper? Fact or fiction? We're getting a lot of explains. Guys, fact or fiction? Fletch was once a male stripper. It says TMI. Fletch, there is a lot of facts on here. A lot of facts. So the majority of the OMG membership believes that you were once a stripper. So we will let you answer this last, and we're going to start out with Stephen Floyd. Is this fact or fiction?
I think.
Yeah. Stephen, is this fact or fiction?
I'm gonna have to go fiction on this one.
All right. Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
I'm gonna have to say knowing Fletch. I'm gonna have to say fact.
Greg Morrison, you've known Fletch longer than any of us. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say that's a fact.
Derek Owasiak, fact or fiction?
Fact, I seen him.
I'm not going to answer because I know what it is. Fletch, is this fact or fiction?
Good Lord. It's fact.
I didn't know that. It's really a fact.
This is ridiculous. I thought this was about SEO. My wife might be watching. Who knows?
I didn't know. I thought it was a joke. Oh, my God. Oh, I guess the next one might save us. Hopefully it's a lead gen question, Fletch. We'll see. There's a lot of explains, Fletch, more than we've ever got.
I'm sure there are.
Oh, my. Okay, here we go. Next question. Oh, I can't stop laughing. The more words on an article, the better the rankings. Fact or fiction? So we're letting the OMG members answer. We're getting a mixed bag here. It looks like we're getting a lot of fictions and facts. Looks like it's 50-50. 50-50. So we'll start at the top and work down. Derek Wasiak, is this fact or fiction?
It's fiction.
Great. Fletch, fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fact.
Okay. Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
There's a lot of depends in there, but I'm going to say fiction.
Great. Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
I also say this is fiction. So let's see here. We've got a lot of people. Looks like no one wants an explain. Guys, I'm going to give you about 20 seconds. If you want us to explain, we can. But we're like getting some hashtag magic Fletches instead of magic Mikes. So
I don't even want to look at the Facebook wall for people's inventive Photoshop efforts.
Guys, if you want to do some creative Photoshop, we're not going to be upset with you. I promise you.
Yeah. Let me open that up here.
Derek says, let me go. Derek, now you're sending Derek to the Facebook group. So it looks like that we don't have enough explains. So I guess people are just going to, go along with that. So we will move to the next question. It's a waste of time to learn Google's terms of services because we're going to break them anyway. Is this a fact or fiction? OMG, fact or fiction? And it looks like that everyone is saying that this is fiction. So we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. We'll just do it. Steven, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Joe Marfolio.
I'm going to say fiction.
Okay. Greg Morrison.
I've never read a word of them terms. I'm saying fact.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
It could go either way. I'll say fiction.
Okay. Derek Wasiak, fact or fiction?
Yeah, fiction.
Yeah, I would. I'll say fiction also. So we're not, obviously everyone kind of gets it. We're getting a lot of love you Greg Morrison's on here, so that's always good. So
Yeah, it's good for bedtime stories for the kid.
yeah, I'm sure that will definitely that'll definitely put him to sleep for certain. So guys, the next question. Obviously, we need to give a little time for the screen to catch up. I've got a lot of people saying that I was waiting. So the next question is this. .edu and .gov links are more powerful than any other type of links. Is this fact or fiction? And it looks like that we're getting a lot of facts from the OMG members. There's a few people saying fiction, but Dave Key said it could be a red flag. But generally, we're like getting a lot of, I'm going to say about 60% fact, other people fiction. So I'm going to start out at the top, work my way down again. Derek, is this fact or fiction?
That's a good one, eh? I'm going to go with fiction.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
I would say fiction.
Greg?
That's a tough one. I'll go fact.
Okay. Joe?
Fiction.
Stephen Floyd?
Fiction with a capital F.
Okay. I am going to go with fiction myself. I think then we will just leave it at that. And it looks like this is the first time that we're getting a lot of explains. Guys, I'll give you about 10 seconds if you guys want an explanation on this, or we'll be happy to. But it looks like we need, you know what, guys, at least a minimum of 50 explains for us to continue to go. Looks like that we're Yeah, we're getting enough. Yeah, we're getting enough explains on this. So, Stephen, would you like to explain this?
I'll explain my answer.
Hey, Fletch, go to the Facebook group.
I don't want to. When you guys all started laughing, I knew exactly what it was about.
Oh.
I'm just waiting for somebody to post a video of Fletch.
Oh no! Hold on, we can. Hold on, we got to get this.
You can bring it up. Oh,
we need to get this actually on the recording, so we're gonna.
yeah. Yeah, that was a better year for me right there.
So Fletch is I'm like, sorry, I got sidetracked. Look at it, male booty just kind of throws me off. So I'm just not used to seeing it. So Stephen, would you like to explain why this question is fiction?
Yeah, let me give my version of that because I
Sure.
think there was at least one fact on there. So the reason I would call fiction on this is a lot of times you'll see people advertising edu links and gov links for sale like they're the holy grail. And the reason that I'm calling fiction on this is because 99% of the time when people are selling those types of links or getting those types of links, they are on really no power pages, crazy like 15 levels in subdomains, and places that aren't even indexed. So that's why I called fiction on that. And if you were to take like the top 20, most powerful websites on the internet, several of them would be, govs. I think that the majority of them, if you pulled them up today, would be comms. But a couple of govs would be on there, and maybe a couple of edus would be on there. But realistically, the ones that you're going to get power from, the most powerful links that most of us can get most of the time are not going to be edu and gov links, all things considered. So that was my fiction. That's why I called fiction on that.
Cotton, I'll give you my why I said fact.
Sure.
What Steven says is absolutely correct. If you gave me the choice of a gov or an edu link compared to a com with the same metrics as far as like domain authority and all that, I'm going with com and edu. And that was kind of the way I was looking at it. Just because I always look at Google as a probability-based algorithm, and the probability of you getting high-quality link from edu or gov is much lower than the others. So that's something they could take into consideration. And also, it's not something I've ever specifically tested. So I've never tested like a good edu link first.com, so I don't know. But that's just, if I had to guess, I would say they give that a little more weight.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anyone else want to add anything before we move on to the next question?
Sure, I can. I just find that they're powerful, but I'd rather have a more powerful movement from having a link that's from a site that's already ranking for the same term. So
right,
I'll find that moves me better. So in terms of powerful.
And typically, you're not going to be able to get keyword optimized links from good edu and government links anyway. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, guys, that was a good enough explanation for you because we did get enough for that. We will now move to the next question to give the screen a little bit of time to catch up for everyone. And OMGers, fact or fiction on this one. Linking out to authority sites sends organic visitors away. So is this fact or fiction? So I just kind of threw these questions together very, very, very quickly. If you link out to an authority site on your PBN, on your money site, this sends your visitors away. Fact or fiction? And we will go over here and see what everyone is saying here. We refresh. And I keep forgetting that I need to kind of show this because it's not showing up for everyone else. It says that this is fiction. I don't think that we're getting a lot of facts on here. So what we will do is let me hit this, go back to the question. We'll start at the top. Derek Wasiak, is this fact or fiction?
Definitely can be a fact.
Okay. Fletch, fact or fiction?
I'd say fact.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Joe Morfolio, fact or fiction?
Technically, it's a fact. It's a fact for sure.
Okay. Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
I'm going to also say fiction. So this is the first time that you're going to see, and that's why different people have different opinions, and that's why I like this. And everyone's right with their answer. I don't want anyone to think that like we're totally just against each other in this. We have different reasons for why we're answering it. So guys, if you want us to explain, then go ahead, and we need about 50 of these. If not, we will move forward. Looks like we've got about 20 so far. So looks like that we have people wanting us to explain. They're kind of loading up on this one. So Stephen, we're the black sheep of like this, outnumbered. You want to answer why we feel this is fiction?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the other one. So, a lot of these are not, in fact, none of these I don't think so far have been black and white. They've all been gray, right? Depending on, depending on how you're reading.
There was one that was actually black and white.
Look at that one.
What's so funny, guys? I don't understand.
Oh my God. So,
Is this still PG? This one?
let me compose. All right.
Okay.
So the reason I called fiction on this is because, again, it's more of the spirit of the question than the letter of the question. So the reason people, and this is actually a very commonly asked question in lots of different forums, the reason people bring this up is it prevents them from linking out to authority sites, which is a really bad thing to do. In fact, we teach that in OMG. I know Greg teaches that taught that first, linking out. So the letter of the law, I would agree with everybody else. I would say that technically it does, but when this question is brought up, the context that it's brought up within is, should we link out to authority sites from our sites? And the answer to that is absolutely. Number one, because it helps us rank. Number two, because if your site content, if you're providing the content that your user wants to find and they leave you, they're probably coming back anyway. So they found you in the first place. So anyway, that's why I called a fiction on that one.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So I just went, and obviously the question for myself, knowing what I'm thinking, and a lot of these questions can be perceived in different ways. It's more so I answered it as, do I link out to authority sites on my PBNs and on some of my money sites? And I have to say fact. So do I think that it could lose organic visitors? Well, sure, but I still do it. So I want to clarify that up. So guys, if you want to add anything else to that, you're more than welcome to.
I think everyone that said fact is along the lines of what you just said. It's just how you look at the question. Can someone leave your site because of an outbound link? Of course. But I'm doing it anyway because I think there's more benefits to it.
Great. Yeah. So, guys, that's why it's real important that when we give these fact or fictions one answers, why it's real important to get those explains out quickly, because you're going to get a right answer. So pretty much I think we're all in agreement that we all do link out to authority sites and still do, but there is a possibility that it can send organic users away. So we will go to the next question. And this one right here, guys, OMGers, if you put an H2 tag over an H1 tag, it will hurt your rankings. Is this fact or is this fiction? And we're getting a lot of people, let me move over, and we are getting a lot of people say that this is fiction, and a lot of people say that they don't know. So looks like we're getting a lot of fictions. So looks like the majority of these people are saying that it is a fiction. So we will start with at the bottom. We'll just go back and forward. Stephen Floyd, is this fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction on this one.
Great. Joe Morfolio?
Fiction.
Okay. Greg Morrison,
Fiction.
Fletch.
I would say fiction. I've never done it, but
Mhm.
what I know about it,
Right.
I would say that.
Great. Derek,
Fiction.
this is definitely fiction. So, guys, I think everyone in OMG pretty much done that. So here we go. I want to make sure that we have one, two. I want to see who was on. All right. Great. We don't need to answer that. I was just making sure that we didn't have an additional guest on. So we'll move on with the next question. Here we go, guys. You caught up. Stephen Floyd is a licensed masseuse. He's given massages. And guys, please, I do want Photoshop pictures. Is this fact or fiction? So let's go over here and see what the audience is saying. How well do they know you, Stephen, with fact or fiction? And we're going to go ahead and see what people are saying. And it looks like people are saying that this is, my back is sore a little, says Matt Rose. I want you to come over there and rub his shoulders, Stephen. So people are saying fact. It says, Jeff Loyne says fact, the old Texas massage. And a lot of other people, looks like, don't know those types of parlors required licensing. Mike said. Okay. Pat says fiction. So what we will do is we will go to the top this time. We will let Stephen answer last to confirm this. It says, Derek, is this fact or is this fiction?
It's fact.
Fletch.
I'm just going to go with fact.
Greg Morrison.
I'm gonna go fact.
Joe Marfolio.
I'm gonna have to say fact.
I know what it is, so it's not fair for me to answer. So we're going to go to this source, the man with the golden hands, Stephen Floyd.
Hey, Cotton, can you go to the thread?
I'm going to go to the thread. We're on the thread. Oh, look at Kurt Inget. Kurt Inget says he likes it. And Pat Cranny did hashtag golden hands. So, hey, wait a minute. We don't want to see that.
It's like a horrible mix of us being a male stripper and him being a masseuse, right?
So, Stephen, is this a fact or fiction? Are you the man with the golden hands, or is this a farce that you are not?
I just posted in the group. If you look, there is a picture of my license, one of my 3 licenses in Texas.
Guys, this is a fact. Stephen, guys, let's give hashtag golden hands. Hashtag golden hands. This is a fact. And here it goes. I'm going to have to refresh for us to see the hashtag golden hands right here. So we're I think everyone's learning something new about everyone here tonight. We're getting golden fingers and golden hands. I don't know why people saying golden fingers.
Golden something.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, from now on, anytime that you see Stephen, you will know he's a man with the golden hands. So, it is a fact. He is a licensed masseuse. So,
Hey, Cotton.
yes, sir.
Hey, Cotton.
Yes.
I'm gonna put one more picture in there, just a second.
All right.
Just for the people who are making the comments there. I'm just gonna throw it in the thread here in just a minute.
All right. We have Chris with a hashtag happy endings. so okay. So Steven's going to post something in the thread. We're going to ignore that he's doing that and go to the next question, so it has no relevance. So we can continue to remember him as a man with the golden hands. we will move to the next question. And that is this. And I like do this because I see in SourceWave, Source University, I like see this a lot. I like see that people claim and say and have proof or whatever. You can rank with just SendWire alone. Put up a page, turn on SendWire, you're golden. No pun intended, Stephen.
Hey, all right.
Yes.
That's my last one, man. Your ending will not be happy. That's my hashtag.
Right. So we're going to start out at the top and work down at the. So Derek, just fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
Again, it's one of those things. Technically, I guess it's a fact, but
Okay.
not for anything that I'd go after. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, it's true. Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Technically a fact, but you're wasting your time.
Okay. Joe Marfolio.
I'm going to go with the spirit of the question. I'm going to say fiction.
Stephen Floyd.
Yeah, I'm going to do with Joe. I'm going to go with the spirit of the question. I'll say fiction.
I'm going to say fiction as well. I like, guys, if you want us to explain that a little further, going to do some hashtag explains, and we'll get it going. If not, we will just do that. And guys, yes, I could have put down Stephen was an Army Ranger, but unfortunately, that would have been no fun for this webinar. That would have been too serious for us. So the masseuse was way better. And we have some people here. Let me go ahead and refresh this. So we can get this on the webinar. It looks like people. Christine Aguilera is right there. And it's always good. I didn't know that you were a Aguilera fan, Stephen. And
man.
People, I like to think that guys, if you want us to explain this one, give me I'm going to give you a little bit more time to put hashtag explain. If not, we're going to move on to the next question. Hashtag explain. It looks like we're getting quite a bit coming right now. Okay. Derek, you said that it's a fact, and then we will answer the fiction part of it. Is how would you like to explain this to them?
Sorry, I had to run from upstairs.
That's okay, man.
I already forgot the question.
You can rank with
SendWire?
You can rank with just SendWire
Yeah.
alone. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, even for semi-competitive stuff, if your domain authority is high enough, you just really need, 5 to 10 links. You can probably rank for some pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you would use SendWire to rank My City SEO or something like that, and just with that alone.
Well, I don't say I use it. I just said you can.
Right. Okay, but this is where we can explain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's you can rank fairly competitive stuff with just like even YouTube videos or Amazon listings with just that, because you're just leveraging the domain authority, and a lot of the times you can even rank with just even like Twitter links. So why not SendWire?
Great. Stephen or Joe, why is this fiction?
Well, I'll say SendWire is only as good as what you put in it, 1. 2, when you post a SendWire, you're just putting a bunch of spun content on there. So, I mean, I don't, even if you put in a bunch of good PDNs in there, it's still, you're just going to be putting spun junk content on there. So I think it's a waste of time.
Stephen, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm just looking at the flat top Brad Killam just gave me, which is much better. The next time I see Dietrich, me and him are gonna have to have a talk.
Right. The reason that I said fiction about it is I see too many new people that are coming into OMG or that are in other newbie groups. And it's been taught in other newbie groups that I am in that all you need to do is put up your city SEO site, blast SendWire to it, and you're going to rank, which I think is absolutely preposterous. So I just don't think that's possible. Like Derek said, I do believe it's possible that you can use it with high domain authority sites. But if you're starting out with a brand new site, or if you're brand new, if you think that you're just going to fire SendWire at your site, sit back and enjoy the lavish rankings and the lifestyles of $10,000-$20,000 a month for your My City SEO site, I think you're going to be sadly disappointed. So that's kind of why I said fiction. So,
Yeah, it's not a magic bullet.
Can I add something to that too?
yes.
Personally, what I think is SendWire is like $400, and the reason why people push it is because they're affiliates for it and they get paid. That's what I think. You can do exactly what SendWire does for free by creating your own properties or using something like If That Then This.
Sure. Great. All right. We will move on to the next question. And this is a good one. OMGers, here's the question. Buying paid traffic increases organic rankings. Is this fact or fiction? And we are getting a lot of fictions, some facts on here. We're getting a lot of people here. It says here that it's like 50-50, guys. Let's move it over here and scroll it down. So yeah, we're like getting some people say facts and people say fiction, and we will start at the we will go all the way to the bottom now from my screen of the guests, and we will go to Stephen Floyd. Stephen, is this fact or is this fiction?
The way that this is worded, I'm going to say fiction.
Okay. Joe Marfolio.
I'm going to say fact.
Okay. Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
I'll say fact.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
I would say fact.
Derek, fact or fiction?
Fact. In the spirit of the question.
Yeah. My answer would be fiction. So, guys, if you want us to elaborate a little bit more on this, we need to see a lot of hashtag explains. And looks like that we're getting Dave Keys is trying to do it for everyone. I think Dave Keys has a robot over there doing it over and over again. So, so looks like they want us to explain. So, I guess I'll go first on this one. I've been putting everyone else on the spot. I said that I thought that this particular question was fiction. And I really don't have anything to back this up over, just knowing that I myself have never, ever once bought paid traffic or even testing this. I'm just doing it by sheer gut. I don't have any evidence to prove either way. But I do know this. I've pretty much been able to rank whatever I want without doing paid traffic. And for me to believe that if I started paying for traffic, that cottongrammar.com or any other of my money sites would increase their rankings any more than one position, two positions, I just think that I would be naive. Now, that's my opinion. That doesn't mean anyone else's is wrong. For any of you guys that said that you think this is a fact, people would like to hear your reasoning for saying fact.
I said it because I put a website up last year and did kind of a direct mail campaign to it, and didn't build any links, but just actually got traffic on the site, and I noticed a pretty substantial bump in my organic rankings based on that. So I said fact due to traffic being a metric that Google pays attention to.
Sure.
Hey, Cotton, can I jump in?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I was on your side on the fiction side, but I think that this is a great example of how you and Fletcher are both right. I think because if that paid traffic goes to a site that is set up to convert, then that paid traffic will affect your CTRs, your page views. Your bounce rate will be nothing. You'll have lots of interaction metrics. So I think if that paid traffic finds itself on a site that is a good quality site that's set up to convert, then I think it will increase your organic rankings. However, I answered no because I know because typically, I know a lot of people who buy traffic. I'm probably gonna get yelled at for this. A lot of people that buy traffic really don't know a lot about SEO. So that would lead me to believe that they probably haven't optimized their sites very well for conversions. So most of the time, I would say that the people that have bought the traffic, it's going to go to the site, but their metrics aren't going to be, significantly better than the average. So I don't think in most cases it would help organic rankings.
This is an interesting question I'd like to throw at any of you guys. Do you believe that if a site is sitting at number 5, let's just pull out, Denver SEO, that if they started spending $100 a day on organic traffic, that's going to move it up in organic rankings? Does anyone believe that?
You mean paid traffic?
Yes. Yes. If you bought $100 a day worth of Google AdWords, you're at number 5 for Denver SEO, and you did $100 a day for a month. Do you believe that would increase your organic rankings from 5 moving up to 4, 3, or anything like that?
It's probably, I would say yes, not always, but a lot of times they're going to have, especially in certain terms, if you're already ranking them in 2 spots, they're most likely going to start clicking a lot more. And sometimes there's a debate whether or not Google can actually combine the click-through rate of your ad and your SERP ranking. So I don't think it's 100% true or anything, but something worth testing, that's for sure.
So in other words, you're saying that if it was free, you would definitely do it, but you probably wouldn't pay to find out, right?
Yeah, I mean, if people see you in 2 spots, they're also going to just kind of be attracted to clicking your site. You're going to take up more real estate.
Sure.
I mean, I do pay traffic on some of my sites, and they have moved up.
Okay.
But I wouldn't do it as an SEO strategy. I do pay traffic combined with retargeting, and it's part of a strategy that I get an ROI on. But if I was just going to do paid traffic to move my site up, I wouldn't do it. I just buy another PBM.
Great. Okay. Great. Good question. Glad we asked it, and got a lot of great answers and a lot of insight for people. So this is exactly why I want to do this. I always love hearing different perspectives and getting everyone's opinion on it, because we've got a lot of brilliant minds on here that are amazing at SEO. So always great to hear different opinions of everyone and respect what everyone says. So we will move on to the next question, which is, here's a good one, guys. We're going to let you catch up to it. If a site has received a manual penalty, it can still keep its rankings. Fact or fiction? So, guys, if a site has received a manual penalty, it can still keep its rankings. Fact or fiction? And we'll move over here to see what we've got. And see what people are saying. And we have people here saying that is a fact. A lot of people are saying it's fiction. So let me see here. Fiction. A lot of everyone's saying a lot of explains before we do it. It says fiction. Looks like we're getting more explains than we are anything. And just people just doing it just out of curiosity. And we're going to start out for the first time. I'll answer the question first. This is a fact. And we'll go to the top and work down. Derek.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Fletch.
I'd say fact.
Greg Morrison.
For the sake of the audience, I'm going to say fiction, but you can still keep your rankings in the map.
Right. And Joe.
I'm going to say fact.
Okay. Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Great. And this is one of these questions that we might cover at another time, but I don't want to explain this one. So.
And note, I said for the sake of the audience.
Right.
Might not even had any rankings.
Right. And let's just put it this way, and I will say this: I have undisputable, deniable evidence that this is fact. So we will move on to the next question.
Yeah, and can is the key word there.
Yes. And guys, this is going to be a very, very good question here. So, OMG, I'd like to see your answers right here. You use DAS to regularly rank your websites. So, guys, I'm asking you, is this a fact for you or is this a fiction? Let's see what everyone's saying is a fact or fiction. And everyone is saying that fact. Don's saying it's fiction. Jeff Williams saying fiction. There's a lot of fictions on here. I'm kind of surprised. Fiction. So this says fact. Some say fiction. So we're going to start out with Derek. Fact or fiction for yourself?
Fact.
Fletch.
Fact. I had myself muted.
Okay. Greg Morrison.
Fiction.
Joe Marfolio.
Fiction.
Stephen Floyd.
Fiction.
For me, it is 100% fiction. So I don't think we have enough explains to explain. So we will move to the next question. Boom. Here we go, guys. I will let this catch up. Guys, I want to know, is Joe Marfolio, was he an ordained minister at one time? Is this a fact or is this fiction? We want to know. Fact or fiction? Preacher Joe. So it looks like that the OMGers, we are getting a lot of people say that this is a fact. Some people are saying it's fiction. Julian said it's impossible. Pat Cranny's saying that it's a fact. So we're going to start out with, it says here, someone's got a really good one here. It says fact until he ran into Steven's massage parlor. So there we go. So we're going to start out with Stephen Floyd. Is this a fact or is this fiction?
Man, I'm going to say fact.
Okay. We're going to skip Joe because Joe obviously knows. And we're going to go to Greg Morrison. Is this a fact or fiction?
No offense, Joe, but I say fiction.
Fletch, the polar opposites, my friend. Is Joe an ordained minister? Fact or fiction?
I'm going to go with fiction.
Derek, is this fact or fiction?
I'm going to go with fact, but I think it was forged.
And because I know the answer to this question, I will skip it and I will go directly to the source. And we will go back to the question. Joe, is this a fact or is this fiction?
This is, it's a fact.
Wow. Preacher Joe, guys.
I used to throw it down.
Guys, we need to give a hashtag Preacher Joe.
Smart preacher.
You know, we've had some masseuses and some male entertainers, and guys, that's right. We've even got someone to save us all while we're here on the webinar.
Hey, that's how I met Fletch. He came into one of my groups.
I had to turn my life around.
So, guys, yes, we would absolutely love to see your Photoshop pictures of Joe as well. So please work on those diligently before we get to the next question. So it says OMG has a den of iniquity. So that's right, go. So a preacher and a stripper and a massage parlor walk into a bar. So it's pretty good stuff. So we're like starting to get them come in. Machine gun preacher. Uh-oh, look. so Preacher Joe. It's good stuff. Good stuff. So guys, we're learning something about SEO. We're learning something about the coaches that's in OMG. So that's always good as well. The next thing is we could always ask was Mike Long once a priest, but we'll save that for later. So, and here is, guys, we're going to move on to the next question. And some of you might think that this is obvious, and some of you might think it's a dumb question, but we're going to ask it anyway. So, guys, I'm asking you, do you use PBNs to rank websites? Fact or fiction for you guys? And we're going to move over here and see what we got. And we're getting a lot of facts here. Looks like a unanimous fact. We got one fiction. Looks like that we're about 90% fact here. So we're going to start out at the very top and go back up to Derek. Is this fact or fiction for yourself?
Yeah, it's a fact.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
Absolute fact.
Greg Morrison, please don't drop a bombshell on us. Is this fact or fiction?
That's your fact, I guess.
Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
Fact.
And myself is fact. And I really don't think that we need any further explanation for that or wait for people to do hashtag explain. So we all use PBNs to rank websites. So on with the next question. DAS can rank a competitive keyword with just a diagram alone. That's it. So OMGers, is this fact or fiction? You've seen these diagrams floating around. It's got everything connected to each other like it's trying to launch a spaceship. All you've got to do is connect these websites together, and you're going to rank a competitive keyword, fact or fiction. And we're getting a lot of here fictions. Looks like everyone's saying fiction. So I think everyone's getting tired with this right now. We need some more input, guys, because I'm telling you guys, you don't keep participating, you're not going to get explanations. So we're like getting a lot of people saying that fiction is generally the, it says one guy saying DAS doesn't seem effective for competitive pages. We have another one saying fact. So we're going to go and we're going to start at the bottom this time. And Stephen Floyd, is this fact or fiction with you?
Fiction.
Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fletch, is this fact or fiction?
Say fiction.
Derek Owasiak, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction, just because it's a diagram.
Okay. So I say it's 100% fiction as well. And I think that this is going to be...
The wording's kind of weird on it because it's like with just a diagram.
Well, there's a lot of OMGers that believe that all they got to do is just put these web of sites together and they don't have to do anything to it, and it's going
Well,
to
I know, but the wording on it sounds like you just have to draw it out and it's going to rank.
Right. Yeah, I just explained it out a little bit better. So do you still say that's fiction? Right. Great.
Well, DAS can rank a competitive keyword with just a single diagram like mapped out and executed.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
A competitive keyword.
You can.
Okay. So you would never have to power it up ever. It just sits there and you can rank like that.
I mean, it just like you still have to power it up.
No. Just a bunch of little stupid 2.0s together, and with all these little diagrams drawn out like it all cool.
Yeah, well, if you have 800 properties in your diagram, why not?
Okay. I say that's 100% fiction. I say it's 100% fiction, but anyone can disagree, and I respect your opinion 100%. I think that it's the biggest falsity to all of OMGers that they can sit and connect a bunch of sites together and not power it up, and they're going to rank for whatever they want. I just think that it's...
Yeah, I'm just saying that if you're including your powering up in your diagrams.
Right. Well, that's a different story.
That's how you're drawing your DAS.
Right.
Yeah.
But they must be powered up is what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, that's part of my diagram.
Good. Right. But that's like what I meant is many OMGers just believe that you don't have to power it up. That's why I just wanted to shine the light on that.
Can you connect 5 Weeblies together? Yeah, no.
Got it. Great. Okay, guys, hopefully that's a good enough explanation for it. And we will move on to the next question.
Tricky wording.
Right. Hold on. I'm going to text Mike back. He's asking me something. Mike is going to come on the webinar. And we'll move on to the next question. Domain authority and page authority are a very important metric. So, OMGers, what do you say about this? Is it still important today? That fact or fiction? People are saying huge fact. We're like getting the majority of the people say that some people saying it's fiction, some fact. So we will start out at the very top. Derek, is this fact or fiction?
It's fact.
Okay. Fletch, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
It's a fact, but I think this is worth explaining no matter what.
Okay. Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fact.
Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
What Greg said.
Okay. And I say it's a fact as well. So, guys, if you want us to explain this, we need some more explanations. And we need some more hashtag explains. I think we got enough. Greg, you want to try to tackle this because you think that everyone needs this explained too?
Yeah, just because I get this so much, I think a lot of people don't understand that page authority and domain authority, it's the metrics that Open Site Explorer uses or Moz uses. Okay, it's not like the official Google metrics. You can only use it as a filter when you're looking for PBNs or just as a starting point. You always got to look what's behind that as well. And I just think too many people look at domain authority, like they'll send me questions like, well, I got a domain authority 50 site, like why is it no good? Well, because that's not like an official Google ranking, that's Moz's ranking. You have to go and make sure that that's backed up by a quality link. So,
would anyone else like to add anything to what Greg said?
Sure, I can add a little bit. I mean,
sure.
If you're just going based on domain authority or page authority, those metrics are one of the easiest to manipulate, and if you have no trust or any actual quality behind there, it's usually going to hurt you more than anything else. So,
great. Okay, a lot of valuable information there, and we will move on to the next question. And the next question is, Google Maps app will warn you that a place you're driving to is closed. guys, is this fact or is this fiction? And some people say no clue. We got a lot of people here starting to roll in. We're getting a lot of facts. Some people say fiction. And, well, we're about 50-50 here. We'll start out, we'll just kind of mix it up right here. We'll just go to the bottom. Stephen Floyd, is this fact or fiction? Are you there with us, Stephen? I think you're still muted. I think Stephen had to go. There he is.
Yeah, hey, Cotton. Sorry about that.
Yes.
I had a little glitch there. I still don't have my Mac. My apologies.
That's okay.
I missed the question and everything. Sorry about that, guys.
Sure, no. It's the question is Google Maps app will warn you that the place you're driving to is closed. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Okay. Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fact.
Okay. Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
Depends on what you mean by warning, I guess. But
Well, if you bring up the
Yeah,
Google
I don't-
Maps app and you're just kind of driving to the place, is it going to warn you that it's closed before you switch
I
navigation?
mean, I think you'd have to actually look and see if it says closed. I don't think it does push notifications, but I don't know. It's not something I know.
Derek, fact or fiction?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah, I'm
Fiction.
just
No fact.
coming up
No
with
fiction.
questions, guys. This is a 100% fact. Google Maps app just pushed it out 48 hours ago that any business location that has their hours, before you push your navigation, it will tell you, are you sure that you want to go to this business because it's now closed? So kind of a little question I just threw in there, more of an informative question, not that anyone needs to know or anyone cares, just loading up with some interesting questions on here to get it going. So obviously there's no need to explain that. Next question that we will do right here is this one right here. Majestic trust flow and citation flow are very important metrics. Guys, is this fact or fiction? And we'll move it back over here. Looks like everyone's saying this is a fact. And fact, a lot of facts. I don't see any fictions yet. So it looks like that people trust Majestic more than they do Moz, because we got some fictions on Moz, but we haven't got a fiction yet on this. So we'll start out with you, Derek. Is this fact or fiction?
Fact with a grain of salt.
Okay. Fletch, fact or fiction?
I would say fiction.
Okay. Greg, fact or fiction?
Uh,
I know these are tough.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say fiction.
Okay. Joe, fact or fiction?
I'm going to say, let's see, I'm going to say fact with a caveat to basically what was said before about
Sure.
the main authority.
Sure. And Stephen Floyd, is this fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fact.
I myself am going to say fact. I rely on it heavily. So, guys, if you would like an explanation on this, I'm going to give you about 15, 20 seconds to get a flood of hashtag explains in here. If not, we will move on to something else. And looks like we're getting a lot of explains right now. So, okay. Derek, you said with a grain of salt. Please explain.
Yeah, I use them a lot to filter out sites, and so I know if I should even investigate buying that site or getting a link from that site, but it's not going to be the end factor of a decision. Usually it's going to come down to, is this site relevant, or is it even going to help my rankings? And there's some situations where trust flow and citation flow are also easily manipulated. So not as easily as domain authority or page authority, but in the fact that they are harder to gain. But having a 1-to-2 ratio of trust flow to citation flow is what I do follow as a guideline for links coming in. So. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll like jump in and give my explanation for saying that. I use it regularly, but by no means do I use one metric as a stand all be all of what I make all my decisions by. As you said, Derek, trust flow can easily be manipulated. And now with, even checking with PBNs, with as smart as SEOs have got using Spider Spanker, and other stuff, metrics can be skewed. I do know that, you really can't trust. I use a number of different tools and metrics to decide or make decisions either way about purchasing something or the naturalness of a site, its linking pattern, or something else. It is one of the ones that I go to first or second to look at, but by no means do I think that this is the end all be all metric that everything has to go by. Anyone else want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'd like to, add on to what Derek said. CF and TF, as far as when I'm mass analyzing, whether it's competition or analyzing for PBNs, it's the easiest way for me to filter, a large set of domains quickly, because like you said, yes, you can fake TF and CF, but it's way easier to fake DA and PA, and there's so many, especially foreign domains, that may have a really high domain authority and have really no power at all to help you rank. And so I think they're really important because it's real easy for me to just say, I look at the trust flow and content flow, I have a formula in my spreadsheet, if I'm looking at a bunch of them at once that just says, if the ratio is not right, I don't even look at them. And I'm going to miss a domain every now and then because there are sites that ratio, doesn't look right, and they could still be good sites. But you're not going to have a lot of time to kind of go through those, or I don't. So I would say that it's very important. If I had to use one or the other, I would probably use Majestic Metrics, over Moz Metrics if I just had, if you held the gun to my head. But like you and Derek both said though, I really want to look at what's behind the metrics. But as far as like being able to weed out a large set of domains quickly, I think TF and CF is the best that we have right now.
Anyone else want to add anything to that?
I'll just say before a month ago, I'd never even looked at them, to be honest, and I've never had trouble ranking. So I just looked at very important as like needed.
Sure.
You don't need it. So
sure.
But I have been learning that if they meet my metrics, then it seems they have higher trust flow. So it's obviously a metric you can use as a filter.
Sure. Great. Okay, and we will move on to the next question, and that is, doing client SEO contracts are important. So we will go and look and see what everyone is saying. Fiction, we got some fiction. We got some facts here. Some people saying true dat, fiction. So guys, and we'll go to the question again. Doing client SEO contracts are important. And fact or fiction, we have a lot of fictions. It looks like this is split 50-50. We will go straight to ask while everyone's saying here. Derek, is this fact or fiction?
Can you go back to the question?
Sure. The question again is doing client SEO
false.
contracts. Right. Okay. So that is fiction. Fletch, fact or fiction?
I would say fact.
Okay. Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Joe Morfolio, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
And I will say that it is 100% fiction. So, guys, if you want us to explain, we need to see a whole flood of explains. We don't have a lot of explains on this one. So looks like we will move on to the next question. Not everyone wanted to hear the explanation of that, so it's good enough. Next question is, this is a good one. This is a very good one. Guys, OMG, Derek Owasiak was once a Canadian Mountie. So now we have a preacher, we have a male entertainer, we have a masseuse, and could we have a Canadian Mountie in the midst? Guys, is this fact or is this fiction? And let me...
Oh, here comes the pictures.
We will refresh this to see what the OMG community says about you. And they say that this is a fact, man. There's a lot of people. Come on, guys. I want to see this. Is this fact or fiction? Was Derek ever at one time a Canadian Mountie? And it like says here, oh no, Mountie with strippers and priest is a really bad combination. So there's a lot of people saying no chance, a lot of people saying fact, fiction, fact. So Derek, I think everyone is split on this one. Everyone seems to be split. It says fiction, however, only nose on my chair. Got it. So we're going to start out with Stephen Floyd. Is this a fact or is this fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
Okay. Joe Marfolio, is this fact or fiction?
I'm gonna say fact.
Okay. Greg Morrison, is this fact or fiction?
I had to look up what a Mountie was. I'm going to say fiction.
Okay. Fletch, is this fact or fiction?
I think fiction.
Okay. Guys, the drum roll, do we have a Canadian Mountie in with the preacher, the entertainer, and the masseuse? Derek Owasiak, is this fact or fiction?
It's unfortunately fiction.
So yeah, guys, this is fiction. We don't have a Mountie, and no, Derek actually lives in Canada. So he does not. Hello, look, there's our first one. with your own horse and all, man. So
yeah, I have the costume, but yeah.
Exactly. So that is 100% fiction. Sorry, guys. So look at Dave Keys.
Oh man, I gotta save some of those.
Oh, it's okay. On to the next question. Always have to put in the fun ones in there. Quality content is very important in ranking a website. So quality content is very important in ranking a website. Guys, is this fact or is this fiction? Wow, we're getting facts. Looks like, oh look, we got.
Jeez.
We're getting looks like about a 60-40 split here, guys, on fact and fiction. So Derek, we will go back to the top and we'll ask you. Quality content.
Unfortunately, it's a fiction.
Okay. Fletch, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fiction, but use quality content, please.
Right. Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
Okay. And Stephen Floyd?
Yeah, it's a sweet fiction.
Right. It's I also say that it is fiction. So guys, if you want anyone to explain that, we need to see a whole lot more of explain versus Derek trying to embrace his dog. And it looks like that we're getting a lot of explains here. A lot of explains. So, Derek, your high heels are special, man. So they want an explanation. Who wants to tackle this one? I'll be more than happy to if no one wants to.
Well, I mean, if anyone here has seen either of Alex Becker's two sites that he likes to show as ranking proof, so that would be shredsource, I think, .net or findrhinoplastysurgeons.org, I think. Let me find which one it is, and I'll tell you. You would know that you definitely don't need quality content to rank.
Right. Anyone else want to add anything to that? People seem like they want an explanation. Now, we're not saying to not use quality content. So, the question is, quality content is important in ranking a website. So, Derek, go ahead.
I just dropped the link in there, Cotton, for everybody to look at. That's one of Alex's sites that he's made public. So, I'm not. He's cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drop it in the OMG Way group too.
There's a little bit of a loophole here because quality content does not mean it's unique content for one thing, and unique is a heck of a lot more important than quality. But
exactly,
you can definitely even have quality content on your site that someone else wrote that's been published other places, as long as you cite the source, and you'll be fine. But I mean, when it comes down to rankings and link building, you can literally rank with a login page on your website and just backlinks with no text around them.
Yeah. Hey, Cotton, since that site that I just put in there for the group, he even has the actual keyword misspelled in his title tag.
Right.
On that horrible, ugly site.
Right.
And for those that don't know, this site is ranked like in the top 3 for all kinds of rhinoplasty terms, Texas rhinoplasty, Dallas rhinoplasty, a bunch of them. And that's a nose job for those of you who don't know what rhinoplasty is, but it's a plastic surgery niche that's actually, fairly lucrative.
Right. By no means do I want to make it clear to people that you should get lazy and not put quality content on your website. That's not what this is about. What we're trying to tell you is Derek and I have actually seen a site personally. And it's not mine to show, and it's not mine to even show it to you, but it's one that ranks very, very, very highly for some very competitive drug terms. That is just about, what do you say, Derek? Maybe 150 keywords right down the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's unique. Yeah, it's unique content, but it is absolutely not quality content. And Fletch, you've seen that site as well, haven't you?
I have. I know the site you're speaking about.
Yes.
And it is. I don't think anybody could call it quality.
Right. Yeah. So, don't get me wrong. We're just telling you what's possible. By no means are we trying to tell you to not go out and get engaging and good content for your site, because that is very important. And I spend a lot of time trying to make sure that that my sites have that as well. So
And we're here to make money, not to rank websites. So
exactly.
If you're ranking a website and it has really poor quality, poor content, you're probably not going to convert anybody. So you're probably not going to make any money.
Right. It's like cool to show, that you don't need quality content, but obviously if all of us could answer, do you want quality, engaging content on your site? All of us would say that's a fact. So, but you do not need it to rank. So that's like all that we're trying to emphasize to you and what's possible and what isn't. So the next question is, here's a good one, guys, and I'm anxious to see the OMGers' response on this. It's safe to use Google Docs to track your PBNs. Fact or fiction? And we're getting a lot of people say fiction. And we got a lot of people saying fiction here. Fiction. So, fiction. They say no way. People are saying fact. Looks like it's probably about a 70-30 split here. And I'd like to know that I put this on there because I'd seen Steven talk about it once. So, Steven, I'm going to let you start out with this. Is it safe to use Google Docs to track your PBNs?
I'm going to say fiction.
Okay. Joe Marfolio?
I'm going to say fiction, not safe.
Greg Morrison?
I'm gonna say why. Why would you ever do that?
Fletch?
I would say fiction.
Derek?
Yeah, fiction.
Okay. And I also say that it is fiction. So, guys, if you want us to explain that a little bit more, we need to see a whole lot more explains.
Yeah, use webmasters. Come on.
So yeah, looks like not a lot of explain. I think we got enough just kind of explain. Guys, the whole point of it is that, look, even though it might be safe or it might not, it really doesn't matter. Why would you? Why would you take that chance? You have, Microsoft OneDrive, you've got regular Excel sheets, you've got other stuff. Why take the chance? I'm not saying that it's going to kill you, and I'm sure that there are many people of you that use it, but why take the chance? It just doesn't make any sense. It's owned by Google. They have access to it if they want it. I'm not saying that they care about me or you or anyone to just go do it. It's just why, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense whatsoever. So, guys, you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, that thread that you were talking about, Cotton, what we do as business owners, a lot of what we do, regardless of what our business is we mitigate risk. And so, if that were the only alternative, or if the other alternatives were extremely costly, or things like that, then I think it would be a good argument to have. But just like Greg said, and what you said, if you have a viable alternatives, which the answer to that is yes, there's dozens of them. Everything from open office to like you said, Microsoft products. There's so many other ways, and it goes beyond just Google Docs. Any Google product really, as far as that's concerned, there's viable alternatives that are most of the time free. So it just doesn't make sense.
Sure, great. I think we've about covered that all. Guys, I really want you to pay attention to this next question because this is going to be one that could affect all of us. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. And I would like to see, guys, you see the question up on the screen? It says, there is no OMG Live 2015. And just want to know what everyone would say about that. And we'll wait and see the responses of everyone here. And they're saying fiction. Fiction. We're getting a lot of fictions here. And okay. Come on, guys. We got about 500 people on the webinar. Let's load this up here. Is this fact or is this fiction? I mean, there's okay. We're getting a lot of fictions. We're getting true. It says that's what the live tour is doing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lead this off, and I'm going to answer the question, and that is 100% fact. So I'm going to go to Greg Morrison. This fact or fiction, Greg? Is there OMG Live 2015?
Did you say fiction?
That is fiction.
Fact? I don't know.
Okay. No, hold on. No, I said that's a fact. I'm sorry that there is no OMG Live 2015. I'm sorry.
There is
Fletch.
one or is it? Hold on, you have the wrong question up.
No, I'm trying to find it back on the screen. There. There.
There is no
That is a fact, is what I said.
You're supposed to say fact.
Thanks, Derek.
He's joking.
Right. Fletch, is this fact or fiction?
Fact or Rooney?
Joe Marfolio, is this fact or fiction?
Fact.
Stephen Floyd, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Okay. Derek Owasiak, is this fact or fiction?
There is no. That is fact.
Okay. Guys, if you want us to explain, we're going to need a lot of hashtag explains before we explain why there is no OMG Live 2015. Okay. We're getting a lot of hashtag explains here. A lot of them. And yeah, I was. What I'll do is does anyone want to tackle this question? Does anybody? Anyone on here want to tackle this question? No one?
I could try my hand at it. Do you want me to?
Oh, hold on. Is that Mike Long on here?
That is.
Mike, why are we? Is this fact or fiction?
Well, see. Why don't you head over to the OMG NHB Team Facebook group real quick there. Just pop over there.
Okay.
Have a look.
Okay. Do you want me to just stay in this thread, or do you want me to actually go to the actual?
Yeah, just open up the OMG NHB Team Facebook thread. See what's going on.
Okay. Oh, well, let me just move this around. Let me. So, it's taking me a while to get there. Okay.
Oh, it's big topic. It's a hot topic.
Yeah, it is.
You got Greg Morrison to come on this.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm actually here.
Go to the. You're in the OMG Way Facebook group.
Oh, okay. You want me to go to the regular OMG group? I apologize.
No worries. Oh, whoa. What's that?
Oh.
Oh man, it looks like it's fiction after all. It's like
So, what's the answer, Mike?
I was really confused there.
Greg, you didn't show up in the beginning to get filled in on the joke.
I was like, what's going on?
Actually, I thought it was genuinely a perfect question to ask Greg because I figure he probably has no idea.
So, Mike, tell us more about this.
Yeah, but before we find out, I genuinely want to know, Greg, did you happen to know that we're doing OMG Live 2015? Or did you?
I was pretty sure we were.
Okay, but you didn't actually know. All right, cool.
I just talk SEO to you guys, man. When you guys tell me to come somewhere, I come. That's
what I figured. Okay, well, let's see. First of all, there is a little preview clip that Fletch put together for this little sneak preview clip. So maybe Fletch can drop that into the threads. I actually watched it just a few minutes ago. Very, very cool. A minister of money game production. Cotton, could you drop this link into? I'm actually really excited about this, and I want you guys to know Cotton had a huge amount to do with this. This is actually, it's yet another one of those blame Cotton situations. But Cotton, could you throw up a link, omgmachines.com/live.php, omgmachines.com/live.php, and I will. Now, this is only for OMGers. Currently, it is possible that we might open this up. This is only for members of our OMG coaching programs, our NHB coaching programs, and Director's Cut members. Currently, it is possible we'll open up to others, but just for now, we're holding it to just to NHBers and to members. So Project Breakthrough, Project X, Project J, and our original NHB members plus Director's Cut members. And what I'm going to do, me and David have been working on this letter, mostly David, and I'm just going to read through this. I'm excited to share this with everybody. OMG is sitting on a hill. This is an exciting time. And the headline is "Some bombs can only be dropped live." Right? Some bombs can only be dropped live. Some advantages can only be gained in person. Get Changed OMG Live 2015. That's going to be November 13th through 16th in Nashville. Now, this comes from the desk of David Mills. I'm going to read it off to you. I'm very, very excited to share this with you. This is fresh off the presses. Just if you had checked out this page just an hour or two ago, it looked completely different. It's time for our third annual OMG Live Mastermind event. Here's the rundown. OMG Machines is here to get you an overwhelming advantage. Boy, do we mean that, by the way. You also get my comments. I'm not reading it verbatim. I'm going to give you my comments as well. But it is here to give you an overwhelming advantage and to surround you with success, to make sure you're over the finish line with your money getting and really taking it to the absolute next level. Now, you already know that we deliver on what we promise, and really many times over, with our no holds barred coaching program, which is our only product. There's a broad agreement amongst our members that we deliver $100,000 value in our $7,000 coaching program. OMG is also very reality based because, and I'm actually going to get into this in a second. I want to talk. Now's a great time for us to get into talking about how OMG came together in the first place. I'm glad Greg is on live right now for that. But anyways, OMG is very reality-based because success takes a serious mindset, not belief in fantasy. In reality, there are some advantages that I'd never be able to get to you except live in person, non-disclosure, non-recorded event. Now, you can take my word when I tell you that nothing is held back from our online coaching that could possibly be revealed in that setting, because your success is what OMG is all about, and our coaches are fearless and have been exactly in your shoes, and they're very strongly committed to giving you the goods. And you've seen that. You've seen us put our websites in front of you. You've seen Nashville SEO get out there in front of you and then disappear and then come back. You've seen the same from Cotton Grammar, from several of Greg Morrison's affiliate sites. You've just seen it again and again and again and again. So, nevertheless, some bombs can only be dropped live, and some advantages can only be. Let me take that some feedback. Figure out where that's coming from. Gonna have to kind of take. You know what? There we go. Yeah, it's there. Okay, great. All right. So, nevertheless, some bombs can only be dropped live, and some advantages can only be transferred by meeting and networking and learning in person. Also, if you know that we want you to get changed and take your money to the next level, there's something unique about a live event. That's just reality. Therefore, we bring you OMG Live 2015. It is fully our version of a $15,000 mastermind event, okay, that another guru might run, and a quality guru might run, except the tickets for OMG Live are $1979 or 4 payments of $499 with our payment plan. And as always, we don't squeeze people for opting for the payment plan. Now, we also hold the event at a wonderful and upscale but fairly inexpensive hotel. It's about $120 a night. We want you to know all the numbers up front. Lots of food at breakfast and in the evening, and you're really going to be surrounded by a variety of restaurants that are very, very close. And, of course, there's going to be Drake's, which I'm sure we'll talk about that in a second for hashtag after credits. Now, there will be hanging out and networking on Thursday evening, November 12th, and the event will begin in the evening on Friday, November 13th. Presumably, Becker will kick it off as he has the last couple of years, and then end midday Monday, November 16th. Not in the evening. We'll really try to end it a bit early, but not in the morning either. Now, I'm already aware of what some of what's going to be revealed this year, and anyone any one morning or afternoon will be easily worth the whole price of admission. So any one morning or any one afternoon will be easily worth the whole price of admission. If you are in the room learning, you are going to get training and bombs, no sales pitches. Just like with our online coaching, there isn't an upsell. OMG only has one event, just like with our coaching. It is possible that software may, in one or two cases, may be offered free and in order to purchase, but if so, it'll be there purely for your benefit, not as some side profit venture that we sneak in. Now, OMG Live definitely falls in the category of, if you think it might be for you, then it is definitely for you. Okay, so that's the category it's in. If you think it might be you, then it is definitely for you, unless a person is a total beginner to the whole OMG framework of money getting, in which case it's a bit more of a risk. Now, when I say a risk, it's really only a risk if you plan on quitting at some point, and if you are, then go with Greg's principle there. Before you quit, remember why you began, because it just might be that perfect catalyst, or a person might feel a bit lost and lacking in structure, but still find something so special that gets them moving forward. Now listen, OMG Live is not a system or step-by-step blueprint, of course. You get that with OMG, and that's why we're offering it to OMGers. You get that with Project X and Project J and Project Breakthrough, which is our current iteration. It is basically a golden ticket for taking your income to the next level. 5,000 could easily be expected to jump to 10,000 and beyond. 10,000 could be expected to jump to 20,000. Now, usually with the legal disclaimer that all references to income should be ignored and completely mean nothing, and that aren't actual claims, except that you can check our earnings reports page, and many of those reading this can find their own name on there. So make your own conclusions. Now, a note for those familiar with the last 2 years, because we are so blessed to have Russell and Sue of Network Empires doing weekly webinars this year. This year, the event will not revolve around training. They're training nearly as much as 2015 as it has in the previous years. Now, also, we have so much talent at OMG at this point. So the speakers are going to be much more varied, and David Mills will actually be, this is probably the most exciting news of all, David Mills will actually personally be micromanaging the content and aiming it at guiding missiles. Okay, the guided missiles a bit more than last year. Now, Jimmy Kelly has his own bomb-making machine in his basement, so we're going to be hearing from him for sure. But if we didn't let him set off bombs each year in Nashville, then he'd likely blow up, all the neighboring neighborhoods to cinders. Now, we do have a cancellation policy. Upon request, until October 12th, 2015, all but $100 of your payment for OMG Live 2015 ticketed will be refunded. After October 12th, the event, in the event that we are not sold out, we reserve the right to no longer offer refunds unless you come up with a particularly compelling sob story. Now, it is possible that an individual speaker might encounter an unforeseen emergency. So, of course, no one particular speaker or topic is absolutely guaranteed, but you will definitely receive a $15,000 event for under $2,000 one way or other. And then there's the new version of the golden ticket. Now, we have a little bit of a reminder on this page. A couple weeks ago, during this assimilation webinar, I went on a little bit of a rant, and I got to asking people, not for any particular reason, but if they really felt that OMG was worth $100,000. And we've got just under 500 people live right now. And I wasn't really going to ask this before, but really right now, if you are just like, really feeling like OMG is just overwhelmingly worth $100,000, I would love for you to post that right now and just say it loud and say it proud. What we've put together is just extraordinary, and I've been really thinking about how OMG came to be just in the last few days. A lot. I've been kind of reflecting on it. I've been reflecting on the success we had. I got an earnings report that just so touched me. It was from an OMGer. He's 77 years old, and he's doing well into five figures per month. On Amazon. He has some other projects, and I was thinking to myself, well, where else in the world? Because I'm telling you, anywhere else, I just think that this guy would have gotten written off. You know, there's so many people who've had just such incredible success, and you know, it's not that these people are like drooling idiots. It's just nothing like that at all. They're just brilliant people, but they're, you know, just so often just one little thing over the edge more to really getting all the way there. One, it's not like a burst of motivation. It's not like they needed one rah speech and then they were finally going to get up off their butts and do it. But you know what? Maybe what they needed was that Iowa City SEO step-by-step, nothing left out training. Maybe that's what they needed. Or maybe what they needed was Cotton's Velvet Ropes. Maybe what they needed, you know, I got a letter earlier from Mike, who's banked $80,000. What put him over the edge was Fletch's pay-per-lead strategy. You know, I don't know what that thing is going to be that's going to make it so OMG is without a doubt $100,000 training for you. But you know, that really matters for us. I mean, it really matters for us. This is why we're doing this stuff. You know, I wanted to talk to you just for a second about how OMG came to be. And you know, and then we can certainly I want Cotton to talk more about what's going to be included, because really Cotton and David Mills are really tag teaming on the content of this event, and of course our whole team is as well. But you know, I have I had an infomercial. This goes back to the beginning of 2012. I had an infomercial, and it was incredibly. It tested out incredibly successfully. I could go into the metrics of how infomercials are tested, but it was one of the top testing infomercials of all time. It was for a very basic, like SEO blueprint, very basic, and it just, with infomercials like this, there's a standard formula. I was working with one of the top infomercial directors of all time, and all that we needed was back-end coaching. And I want to ask you this. I'm going to leave a little bit from the fact or fiction format here. I know Cod's going to return to it. But let me ask you this. If you had a top infomercial, and all you needed was a great coaching program, and you're just going to be rich for the rest of your life, you're just going to be sipping, poolside, sipping mojitos for the rest of your life. You're going to make, millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars just chilling out. Then what questions would you ask? What questions would you ask? People are calling you and courting you, saying you should use my coaching. You should use my. I have $100 million. We had several $100 million plus coaching companies, $100 million per year plus coaching companies contact us and try to lure me and David Mills into using their coaching. What do you think that David Mills, what was the criterion that David Mills asked them? What would be the criterion that you would ask them? Look, I genuinely want to see in the OMG Way thread, and Cotton, can you pull up so I can see what people are guessing? And of course, people probably
we're already there. We're already there. You got a lot of 100,000s lined up right here, if you can see. Guys, if you think this is worth it.
A few 100,000s. I don't know, man.
Right.
I'd love to see 400,000s.
Sure.
We got like 5 people on here. Like 3 people think it's worth 100,000? You guys kidding?
Yeah, it's like going to be incredible.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. William Hawthorne says results. Somebody else said, Jeff Highland says past student success. Nick, thanks for the 100,000. I appreciate that. So what are the questions that you would ask? Like, what would you ask people for? I'll tell you this. David had 2, Howard says, earnings reports. These people are obviously OMGers, okay? It's kind of a rigged game here. I'll tell you what David asked them. And I think that you guys probably in a sense already know because you're in OMG. What David asked was, how much money are your coaches making doing what they're teaching? How much money are your coaches making doing what they're teaching? Not how much are they getting paid to coach, but they're teaching SEO. How much are they making with what they're teaching? That was number 1. And number 2 is what a lot of people, what Pat put in, what Don put in, what Howard put in, show us earnings reports. And Cotton, do you know what they told us?
They said, "Come party with us."
That's exactly that's exactly what they said. Come out to Vegas. We'll get a table. You'll see our facilities. We'll fly our jet out there. Oh, it's so amazing. And David was like, well, what about the success of your coaches? What about your earnings reports? You know what? Give me a hashtag throw rocks, please. I would love to see like 100 hashtag throw rocks, because that's what these guys wanted to do. They wanted to throw rocks at David Mills. They thought he was like a social violator. Like I think I mentioned this in one of the recent OMG Way dispatches. You would have thought that David Mills strolled into church naked and started dancing. The way that the people were upset. I think that people probably posting in the OMG NHB team Facebook group right now. That's where I suspect that the action has gone over. Make sure to jump back over into the OMG Way Facebook group, because I think that's where
we're all in
Todd
here.
is.
No, they got a lot of throw rocks in here now.
Okay, so hashtag throw rocks. Yeah, people were really upset with David, and that's But David insisted. He actually has been talking about this in the recent Law of Implication Rundown series. I think it was Rundown number 8. He was saying at the time David did not know what the ultimate coaching program would look like, what the ultimate mastermind coaching community looked like. He didn't know. But one thing he did know is that it made no sense to have coaches who didn't make a boatload of money with what they are teaching coaching. It just made literally no sense to him. There was no way it couldn't be. It was like a merry bachelor. It made absolutely no sense. Yeah, William Smith says hashtag integrity. I don't mean like that I want to puff out my chest and be like, I'm better than other people. I mean, just like it's a contradiction in terms. It makes no sense. And so, Greg, at the time, David approached you. You had come to us with the idea of with a kind of like maybe coming out with a best practices, guide to doing OMG or to doing SEO. This is before the days of OMG. And David said, hey, are you interested in putting together a coaching program with us? Because we wanted to have that. Maybe we could just make our own coaching program, that would actually be built right. And that could be the back end of the TV show. What did you think when David first approached you?
I was like, hell yeah. I was on the forum all the time, just kind of teaching anyway. So, it's an opportunity just to get it more widespread where more people would see it. So I was all about it.
Now, I never did ask you this. Why did you? We had, it was kind of a forum that was kind of a precursor to the OMG Facebook groups. But what was it? For those of you that don't know, for those of you that weren't around in those days, we had a small beginner SEO forum at those times. It's kind of a precursor to the NHB Facebook groups. And Greg, you had over Liz was talking about this recently. You had over 2,000 posts in that Facebook group. Liz says she read them all. She'd print them up and go through them. And they would include detailed explanations, detailed answers, sites. You'd show your own sites. You'd actually even literally create step-by-step tutorial videos for people. What possessed you?
I guess I just learned through my hardships that helping people is the way to do it. I mean, why wouldn't you? That's my question. Why wouldn't you? I know people don't want the competition, but there's so many niches out there, and just there's so many people struggling who want to make it. Why not help? I don't. Why not? It's my question to that.
Yeah, let's get a hashtag OMG for Greg. Let's just get a ton of hashtag OMGs for Greg, because Greg is really the one. I mean, every single person I believe on this event would say that it was Greg that was the inspiration. Our first coach who joined us after Greg, when things really started taking off was Fletch. And I mean, I don't mean to ask a leading question or put you on the spot, but I mean, I'm sure that Greg's example was at least, somewhat of an influence on your decision making. I think I accidentally muted Fletch.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries, Mike. Absolutely, it was. I mean, not only was was Greg's, information valuable to me. It was what I used to rank my sites and, kind of dig myself out of the hole financially that I was in. But really, just kind of him leading by example as far as how helpful he was, how dedicated to his craft and helping other people he was. And then, kind of recounting the story of kind of the way he, not only got his SEO stuff going, but, opened up an opportunity to be, kind of part of what, OMG grew into. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do everything in my power to see if maybe that's something I could do too. So yeah, Greg's not only helped me with his technical skills and knowledge and his willingness to help, but also as an example to the really the way I wanted to continue to grow within OMG and kind of put myself into as much as possible.
What about you, Joe? Well, when you first joined us, I remember you were really. It was funny. You got inside, and I just remember you being really impacted by those over-the-shoulder training videos.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I've been doing SEO or client consulting for a little while, and I never seen anything like it. Because people would always put up training, and it would kind of be theory, or they were like, you can do this and that, but Greg took you from point A all the way to point Z, showed you exactly what he was doing. He was super clear, told you what you needed to know, and it had a huge effect on me, on my business. Just those videos Greg did were huge. So yeah, it was amazing.
Cotton, when you joined us, the neat thing was you weren't just affected by Greg. You were hugely affected by Greg, but then also by Fletch, and then by other members of our community. And now it's funny because you've been so excited about OMG Live Nashville. I mean, obviously when you took the stage we don't actually have a stage, just so you guys know, at OMG Live Nashville. I should say took the microphone. We don't believe in having any sort of a raised dais or any crap like that. We're all on the same level here. But when you took the microphone, Cotton, at OMG Live Nashville, and it was just electrifying. I mean, I know, I think it was Stephen Floyd was the first person who pulled me aside and said that Cotton could just fill stadiums, and people just launched their feed and gave you a huge standing ovation. But looking back on things, with David's initial architecture in mind, and with the example that Greg set, what is your vision for OMG Live Nashville?
That's a great question. And my vision is to be that I really feel like that I've tried really hard and to make every assimilation webinar as good, and no disrespect to the last OMG Lives, as good or better than last OMG Lives. And I want this one to be just a nuclear bomb, a environment that is live where there's non-disclosures and where there's no recordings. So I just want this for you not even to catch your breath, as many of these assimilation webinars are, and just have it a live kind of a webinar setting where you're just getting punched every few moments with information. And I promise you that 5 minutes, that you could carve out 5 minutes of OMG Live, and with some of the information that like David is gonna reveal out, you can get your money back with just that piece of information. And that's what I want it to be, just a roller coaster ride the whole time. But not only that, but an opportunity to get to hang out with everyone as well. So, and we've had a lot of members ask, why do we have to pay for it if like we're in here? And, Mike, you might have a better answer to that than I do. I've never been asked that before. But, I can tell you this. I was in the same situation a lot of you guys was a year ago. I paid for OMG Live, and I was there and I spoke at OMG Live. And I can tell you that it altered my life. It was the first time that I'd ever been around anyone that was doing SEO, that was doing what I was doing. It was the first time that I got to speak in front of a live crowd about my profession. Literally, that was a moment that kind of changed me and what was going on. And this year, I just want to see OMG Live just be the most incredible next level event that any other SEO event has never done before. So guys, if that sounds good to you with what's coming up at OMG Live, give me a hashtag next level, because that's exactly where we want to take you for the next OMG Live, to the next level. And it's not that we're not going to continue to give you bombs week after week doing this, but there's certain things like how to remove a ripoff report. Fletch is going to get inside of his lead gen business, and I'm going to tell you, I was just blown away. Fletch has shown me some of this stuff. He's like, should I show this now? I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, let's like hold these. This is too incredible to let it out in the wild. We have to show this at OMG Live. And Fletch has got some next level stuff. Some of the things that Joe has like showed me that like he's doing right now, we might be able to get him to twist his arm, to go next level on us. And I know Steven, you want to talk about a guy that's got some next level stuff, man. It's so that's my vision of OMG Live. It's just everyone just saying, how could I have never not came here? I don't know where my life would be. So that's what I want OMG Live to be, to answer your question, Mike.
Mike, just want to take this opportunity. You guys always give me so much credit. I mean, everyone on this call has taught me more than I can even describe. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about SEO and other things. Like, it's just, there's so much to learn from everyone on this call. I mean, every time I talk to someone on this call, I learn something. I'm not a big phone person, so I don't talk to you guys much on the phone, but anytime we do, I mean, I pick something up. I mean, these guys have just brought me to the next level, and I really appreciate everyone on this call. So I just want to throw that out there. You guys always give me credit, but everyone on this call deserves a lot of credit.
No, it is next level stuff. Now, first of all, I want to put this a few distinctions out there for people. First of all, we never ever make a move in OMG that doesn't benefit all of OMG. Okay, so for example, when we added cotton, let's just just for a second talk about cotton in a vacuum. When we added cotton to the team, it wasn't a question of adding him to the team. Like what we basically had to do, it's a little bit of a complex explanation for somebody who wasn't in OMG at the time, but basically we had our OMG Project X and Project J coaching programs, and they're extraordinary. You see the earnings reports, it's incredible. We basically wanted to add Cotton and Jimmy and Russell and Sue and Joe Marfolio and Travis Sago for 2015. And in doing that, we basically had a choice, either add them or not. And if we were going to add them, then what was going to happen was everyone was going to benefit. Everyone, regardless of whether people participated in Project Breakthrough or not, regardless of whether people participated in Director's Cut or not. Okay, so that was the bottom line. And if we hadn't included them in the team, then OMG would have been, by far a less exciting, by far a less incredible place, than it is right now. With OMG Live Nashville, the come up of it, the upshot of it is going to be that everyone is going to benefit more. For example, give me a hashtag assimilation if you are excited about the Assimilation Live tour. Actually, give me a hashtag Assimilation Live, because Assimilation Live is an upshot of us doing OMG Live, because it allows us to go out and share that party on a hill, go out, spread ourselves out. Like, yeah, I mean, everyone loves the idea of Assimilation Live. Well, if we weren't doing OMG Live Nashville, there might be no Assimilation Live. That's one example. There will be training that will go into your members areas that would not have existed. That it just, for one way or another, the upshot would have been. So the point is, actually what I really want people to do, and this is one thing I'm going to ask everyone to do, is just hashtag plenty. Or you can say hashtag abundance, whichever one is a happier word for you. Abundance is more of something that happens conceptually, and plenty is something that happens in reality, like physically. Or you can put both of them. Hashtag abundance or hashtag plenty. We really built OMG on the basis, and again, this is what you get when you have David Mills architecture and a bunch of people, really buying into it. David Mills built OMG on the basis of plenty, in the physical world, and the basis of abundance in the world of ideas. It is built on plenty. It is built on abundance. That's why somebody can buy in for, $7,000 and become a multimillionaire, and it's not like one person wins and a bunch of other people loses. It is based on the power of abundance. You plant a bunch of seeds, and next thing you know, you have some corn, and then you get some corn, and you get seeds from those corn, and then next thing you know, you have a whole field of corn. It's the power of plenty, the power of abundance, okay? And I really want people to embrace that, because everyone's going to get more. I'm not going to sit here and say, look, there are things that we can't put on recordings. There is information out there that we just can't put out. We just can't, literally can't. I can't even tell you why, because it would kind of tip it as to what it is. All right, that's just, sometimes there's information like that. That's the reality. And anything that we can put in OMG, like this is there. Give me a number one if you feel like there's a lot inside of your OMG training area, and give me a number two if you feel like it's a little bit, you wish there was more meat on the bones, and that's fine. Like, if you really wish there was more meat on the bones, tell me, and I'll go out and get you more. Okay, but if you feel like that there is an absolute humongous amount of incredible material in your members area, give me a number one. Give me the number two if not, because I want to see, and this isn't to call anybody out, I think it's great if you feel like you want more in there. It'll just motivate me, and I'll go out and get more. Somebody said, can we have a search function? Okay, great. I've heard that one before. But the thing is, obviously you can just see overwhelmingly people feel like there's already a lot inside of OMG, okay? Yeah, and sometimes people feel like they can't even keep up. I totally get that. So the point is, there's a lot in there. It's not a worry. By the way, Peter, I just saw Peter's been using Jack Carvel's stuff on Amazon, lighting it up. Great job, Peter. So there's a ton of stuff in there. Yeah, Daryl says I need two me's. Totally, Daryl. So the whole thing is, there's plenty in OMG, and so that's all in there. And look, we want you to crush it. We want you to have success. This isn't like our big money getting move. Like, we don't do, just so you guys know, hint, hint, OMG Live is by far the least profitable thing that we do. By far. Okay, just staggeringly the least profitable out of all of our business ventures that we do. It's by far the least profitable. And that's fine. Like, again, we didn't build, David's questions to the coaching guys wasn't how profitable is this going to be. That's not the question. There's already plenty of money in the game. We do OMG Live because there are some bombs that can only be dropped in private, in person, behind closed doors, non-disclosure, non-recorded. Okay? That's it. So if you get that, if you truly get that, give me a hashtag bombs, and if you want me to explain more, give me hashtag explain, and I will totally, either way you want to handle it. So give me hashtag bombs if you totally get it and you're down, and give me hashtag explain if you'd like me to patiently explain more of why it is that we're having OMG Live, and if you feel like even the slightest bit a little bit left out, guys, I care about you immensely. Renee put hashtag boobs, I think. Is that, I think she meant to say hashtag bombs. Okay. Well, we're getting a lot of hashtag bombs. I don't see too many. But really, just so you guys know, I have absolute patience for this. If you need me to say, to go through and explain how things work, why it is that we're doing things the way that we do them. I know that we do things sometimes counterintuitively at OMG. But then again, that's part of the reason why we have so much success here. Look, if there had been coaching programs out there like OMG, believe me, you would never have met me. You'd have seen me on TV. You'd have been like, wow, that's a cool ultimate shortcut to money getting from home book. You would have bought it from me. You'd have joined the coaching program and had great success with them, and I would have been very happy. I'd be drunk poolside right now. Okay? I probably wouldn't even know my name anymore. That'd have been great for me. But you know what? That didn't exist. So we had to make OMG. So we had to make OMG. All right. Well, kind of, it seems that people kind of get the concept and they get why we're doing it. I was really glad for you guys to take the time to understand that. So basically, could you jump back over to the little sales letter? It's at omgmachines.com/live.php, omgmachines.com/live.php. It's a very short letter. David wrote it today. It's from the heart, and there's 2 links there. There's a few videos. You can see all the standing ovations. And I'll tell you one other thing. We're going to be, we have a wonderful social scene there. It is like a millionaires club. You will be there with me and all the guys and all the gals and be able to discuss all the material. It's going to be very, very, very exciting. You'll get the brand new, the brand new badges. And I guess what I'd like to do is, Derek, you were at OMG, at the very first OMG Live. What were your thoughts about it?
The very first live, yeah, that was it's just an amazing experience. I mean, just getting to meet people I've been talking to online for months, and getting to meet Greg for the first time live, it was pretty awesome. I mean, going out, hanging, having drinks, and that's where all the really cool inside stuff happens too, and then just listening to, first time I met Jimmy Kelly there too, and just kind of blew my mind away. So it's probably the best investment I've ever made. So
basically it's not.
Yeah, basically go.
See, Steve Floyd, you just joined us right before OMG Live Nashville last year. You paid for your gold ticket. You came out. What were your thoughts?
Hey, Mike. Boy, I tell you what, I got to tell you, I know there's a lot of people in here that may not have gone to a whole bunch of different, like SEO events. I'm one of those people that has, and I've paid, $5,000, $10,000 for these. And OMG Live, which I think it was $2,000 last year, something like that. Talk about a no-brainer. Cotton earlier said that you could pick 5 minutes out just randomly, and it would pay for itself. Nothing truer has ever been said. I mean, if you walk through the lobby of this hotel, you're going to bump into people who are just at the very top of the food chain at what they're doing. And at first, you might be kind of like, well, I don't know if they want to talk to me or not, but they do, they do. So I got to tell you, OMG Live was awesome. Definitely the best event I've ever been to of its kind. Just, I was just so amazed at the diversity of knowledge that was shared there, but I mean, it was all SEO, of course, but just how you had so many different people and how they were able to, so eloquently, talk about what they were teaching. And boy, I tell you what, guys, when he's talking about NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, man, I can't even tell you, but I gotta tell you, there are things that get dropped at live that I don't think you're ever going to hear anywhere else. I mean, ever. I mean, there was 2 or 3 things, that I was kind of like, wow. I mean, and I've been doing this a long time, and I was just like, wow, what? Let me get my notepad out. Let me say that again, please, slowly. So anyway, to say that it was a positive experience is not doing it justice. As far as I'm concerned, the price it's crazy, crazy low. And I would pay, 10 times that to go back, to the same event, and so the information is on a next level, but then also on a networking level. If you want to do business with people in OMG, then you need to go live. You need to. You can only do so much over the internet. You can only do so much over the phone. When you meet people in person and you sit down and you break bread with them, it's just a whole different level. It's a whole different experience, and I just wish November wasn't so far away. I'm looking forward to it, counting down the days to go.
Yeah, I'd love. Stephen really hit the nail on the head. Please type in $15,000 if you genuinely feel like what we're talking about is obviously worth $15,000. And by the way, I said this before, I'll say it again. It's like writing yourself a check for $15,000. It's genuinely like writing yourself a check. I know I have a friend. I'm not going to say who it is. Probably a lot of you guys know who he is. He runs an outstanding Amazon mastermind, just absolutely outstanding. It's incredible, really, and totally game changing. He charges I don't know if it's 13 or 15 grand for it. And I put OMG Live up to a head-to-head any day. And I have a mountain of respect for this guy, absolute mountain of respect for this guy. But we're easily worth at least it, and why is it 2,000? Part of the reason why we make it 2,000 is because, OMG is our flagship. It's mainly what we do. And, the other thing that we do is we just keep the price extremely low on what we do. That's why we have $100,000 coaching for $7,000. That's the proportion, that's the scale that we work at. We want to have as many people involved as we can while still keeping it small and intimate and exciting and fast-paced. And, I'm not going to sit here and oversell you on this thing. It doesn't really help for me to do it. I'll tell you this. I'll give you the rundown. Number one, you know who we are. Number two, you know the talent that's involved. Number three, you know David Mills. And let's get a hashtag David Mills. Just hashtag David Mills. This is the guy who designed this. He's the architect of this. He's the one who figured this out. He's the one who figured out how to get this to you. The way he's done it is extraordinary. Extraordinary what he's done. No one's ever created a coaching program like this, a community like this, the caring, the dedication that we've put into this. And David is micromanaging. Now, normally, for someone to say micromanaging, normally that's bad news, okay? But Greg, is the thought of David Mills micromanaging something bad news or good news?
That would be good news. David Mills has basically micromanaged me since I started with you guys. I mean, you and him both have. So, I trust everything you guys tell me to do, and I just do it without question. You guys have guided me up to here with absolutely no failure. So.
Yeah, we don't have not too many losses out there. And number four, just the price of it. We want to make it really simple for you. We want to make it a no-brainer. It costs enough that that you're going to be serious about it. Hopefully, the one thing I'd like you to do, and I'll ask you this again, please type in $15,000, because if you're going to get a ticket, if you're going to get a golden ticket, even though the price costs way less than that, I want you to treat it like a $15,000 purchase. We're not going to charge you $15,000, but I want you to treat it like a $15,000 purchase. And the reason why is that is going to give you the value of a $15,000 ticket. That is going to activate your brain at a higher level, like attracts like, okay? Like attracts like. That's a very, very, very important part of the whole equation. If you don't treat it like it's a $15,000 ticket, you are not going to get the same value out of it. And it is a runaway value. It is a runaway value, when it comes to this stuff. Cotton wanted me to call out and say who the first person who joined was. We actually have had a bunch of people join, sign up for their ticket. So let me. It's not going to embarrass anybody if I say who the actual first person that ordered ticket was. There were 2 people who ordered. I just had to check in PayPal because there was also some PayPal orders.
Mm-hmm.
7. You did want me to say that,
sure,
right?
Yeah. I was the first one last year.
You were, yes. That is true. Mm-hmm. Okay. Kind of cheated. You got the link early, but anyways. Oh. Wow. All right. So in fairness, all right, it's essentially a tie. I'll tell you that it's kind of cool. Michael Johnson is officially the first person across the finish line. We actually met Michael in Tampa, and he was great. He was soapboxing his heart out, sharing a lot of information. He was right around the $20,000 profit per month level, but it was a photo finish. Carol Harkins ordered just seconds later. So Michael came in first, but only by a nose's hair, and Carol was second, and so that was the photo finish. But very, very quickly they both ordered actually within seconds of one another. Okay, so what I wanted to do, there's one more thing. If you're really excited about Amazon, give me a hashtag Amazon, and I will explain what the thought is, because I know, we do know that this is happening right in the thick of Q4 for Amazon. So give me a hashtag Amazon or a hashtag Q4 if you are an Amazoner and probably pretty excited about OMG Live Nashville, but also thinking, oh, it's Q4, guys, what's the deal? So I genuinely want to know, do we have any and we may not have any Amazoners on here. It may just be all SEO client consulting guys and gals. Let me check and see. And if there's no, if nobody puts in anything there, then I'll leave that for another day. Just leave that for the Amazon webinar that we have coming up. See, am I in? Okay, OMG Wait Facebook group. My gosh, Cotton, there's 3,360 comments in the thread today. Got a lot going on here. All right, let me try to get. Oh wow, we have a lot of Amazon people live. Wow, a lot. Okay. So for you Amazon folks, people that are kind of primarily interested in Amazon, here's what's going to happen. I don't know if this is good news or bad news for you. We'll go back to the Fact or Fiction format. Fact or Fiction, there are going to be juicy Amazon bombs dropped at OMG Live Nashville 2015. Fact or Fiction, there will be juicy, mouth-watering, tasty, profit-getting morsels that you are just going to want to devour. They're just going to ooze profit down your mouth. Gary says, fact. Got a lot of them here. Well, let me see. It's making me kind of curious about something. I'm going to let people answer for a few seconds while I scan something here real quick. Oh, we've got a lot of people live right now. Okay, the answer is, yeah, that's a fact. Come on, guys. Obviously, yes. There's going to be huge Amazon bombs dropped. Now, there may be some people who are hell-bent on doing Amazon, and they're absolutely not interested in things that don't happen to directly, immediately impact on Amazon. Because, look, there's going to be some pieces of information, some bombs are going to be dropped at OMG Live Nashville that are totally Amazon. Most of it will be, useful for both, and some will be useful for not Amazon. If you are in on Amazon and Amazon only, you're like an Amazon exclusive person, you couldn't care less about anything that's not Amazon. Is it going to be worth it? Of course, it's overwhelmingly going to be worth it. One of the tasty morsels that we dropped there about Amazon will be worth it. And obviously, never mind, the networking and being able to join forces and work with other people. And of course, that's incredible for Amazon on its own. But yeah, no, the reality is, if you are the kind of person who is just hell-bent on Amazon and nothing more, then what you're going to want to do is you'll wind up in the room for not all the event. You'll want to skip a few sessions if it just bores you to death. If COD tells you how to pack away an extra $100,000 doing SEO client consulting in your sleep, if that's something that's not of interest to you. And of course, a lot of people want it all. So the bottom line is that if you are somebody who is hell-bent on Amazon stuff, then you're overwhelmingly getting a $15,000 Amazon event, and you're going to basically wind up wanting to skip a few sessions, get a little extra sleep or spend a little bit more time in the lobby, doing some networking, but it's still going to overwhelmingly be there for you, both in the Amazon specific stuff and both in the stuff that's for both. By the way, I'm kind of curious, how many people, give me a hashtag happy if you're not in Amazon yet, and you're kind of happy to hear that we do have some Amazon stuff in there because you're kind of curious. Give me a hashtag curious or a hashtag happy. So for those of you that aren't yet on Amazon, but maybe you're a little curious about it, or maybe you think, hey, maybe sometime down the road I might want to get in on it, and it's kind of cool if, maybe there's going to be something in there that pushes you over the edge. Maybe you're going to wind up getting some e-commerce clients. Give me a hashtag happy or a hashtag curious, either one, if it's just kind of good news to you that we're also, in addition to everything else, going to have Amazon covered. Just kind of curious about that. Yeah, a fair amount of people. Yeah, this is one of the things that we're finding is it just, as OMG goes on, it's just getting easier and easier just to make so much money online. It's just getting easier and easier and easier to make so much money. And the reality is that if you can make $1,000 a month doing SEO client consulting, there might be a $10,000 a month in profit Amazon business just right there, ready for you to reach out and grab, and vice versa. If you make your first $1,000 on Amazon, just very, very possible that you're gonna click right in and be able to grab $100,000 a month paycheck doing affiliate or whatever way you go. So all right, listen, I've been here for about an hour here about OMG Live Nashville. We are so excited about this event. It's going to be literally incredible. We did one of the reasons why we announced this early is so you could take advantage of the payment plan. That way we were able to do it as a 4-pay. So that really spreads things out over time, and a lot of people like that. I would like to point out that we gouge you for an extra $16 if you take the payment plan. We are pocketing an extra $16. I could buy an extra sushi roll with that or something like that, or whatever it is. But no, we never gouge people. It's just not our way of doing things. So it's perfectly fine whichever way you want to go. If you have questions about it, as always, my door is open. omg@omgmachines.com. And that's the final word on OMG Live Nashville. Do you think that covers the fact or fiction of it there, Cotton?
Yeah, I think it does. Certainly does. I appreciate that.
Yep. We have a lot of people that have already joined, so I'm excited for everybody who has already signed up. We will see you at OMG Live Nashville, guys. It's going to be killer. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'd like to end things out by can we have thank you, Cotton? Because really, guys, Cotton has had heart and soul into making OMG Live Nashville just killer. He really has had heart and soul into it, and I just love to see. We still have almost 500 people live right now. Everyone's hanging on and on. Guys, Cotton, he eats, sleeps, breathes, and bleeds OMG. He really does. He does so much for you behind the scenes. He cares so much about you, it's just an extraordinary thing, to have a guy who's so successful on his own, so extraordinary. It's just a real excitement. It's a real excitement to have him here. We're proud to be, proud to have him here, and he is just making it literally incredible. He is just been on the phone with me and David Mills, been game planning, been talking, networking amongst people. The bombs are going to be dropped. Extraordinary. Cotton, I want to personally thank you. I think your vision for OMG Live Nashville 2015 is going to coalesce. I think it is going to be next level. So I want to thank you.
No, you're welcome. I just hope we can deliver. I want to make it the greatest SEO event ever, if at all possible. So hopefully, great.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Okay, guys. God bless you. I'm gonna nod out of here. Sure. And thanks to everybody who's already joined us. We look forward to helping you get change. Remember, the whole point of OMG is for you to get change, $3,000 a day. All right, guys. God bless. Thanks so much.
Great. All right, guys. We now announced that there is OMG Live, and what I want to know is, guys, we have been 2 hours and 40 minutes in at this point. And what I want to see is if you want us to continue or if you want us to call it a night. So give me a hashtag more if you want us to continue some more questions, or hashtag good night. And whichever we get the most of is what we'll do. I'm like good with either way. We were having a lot of fun doing it. We got a lot more questions. So we're in this thread right here in the OMG way, in the free one. So we will go back and see what we got and see if we want to go. And looks like we're getting a few. All right. It says go more. Okay. We're getting more. I guess we'll go more. We'll go for a few more questions. So next question. I think we lost Steven. He had to go. Rip-off reports can be completely removed. And we will let you guys answer that question. So we will go here and see what you guys say about this. And we will wait to see what some of these answers are. And obviously, this is so many people here that's why I have to go over here. See what everyone's saying. And fact. Getting a lot of facts. So we'll start with you, Derek. Fact or fiction?
Where's the question?
The question is right here.
Can they be completely removed? Fact.
Fact. Fletch, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Great. Joe Marfolio, fact or fiction?
What is fact?
Great. And that we will just we are not going to do hashtag explain on this one, so we will move to the next question. And here's another one. You know, I wish Mike was on, but we will have one fun question quickly. Guys, Mike Long drives a Lamborghini Aventador. Is this fact or is this fiction? So we will see what people say here. And we have people saying that, we're getting so many comments. I think it's shutting down Facebook. We are getting, I'm not getting anything yet. Everyone's in the right thread. We have fiction. Everyone says fiction. And to move it along, you're right. It is fiction. Mike Long drives a Bentley. So we'll move to the next question quickly. Ahrefs is the most thorough backlink checker. Guys, is this fact or fiction? This is going to be more an opinion of what people have to say. But is this fact or is this fiction? Get rid of that. So some people say that it is fiction. Some people say that it's fact. We will get it going here. We'll start out with Joe Marfolio. Is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
For me, it's a fact.
Okay. Fletch, fact or fiction?
I would say fiction.
Okay. Derek, fact or fiction for yourself?
It's a fact.
Okay. I'm going to go along with fact as well. So I don't think anyone needs any explanation, just personal preference.
Yeah,
So
don't really use it, but it's pretty thorough.
yeah, sure. And let me go to the next question. There's no need to explain that one. Lead gen is the easiest way to make money. So guys, is this fact or fiction? OMGers, fact or fiction? Lead gen is the easiest way for you to make money. We're getting a lot of fictions here. And we're going to go to the guy that makes a lot. We have two guys that make a lot of money this way. Fletch, is this fact or is this fiction?
I would say definitely fiction.
Okay. Joe Marfolio, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison, is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Derek, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
I will say that it is fiction also. And we'll skip to the next question because there's no need. It said you should avoid all SERP shaker type sites. We're going to start with you, Derek. Fact or fiction?
You should avoid all. That's fact.
Greg Morrison?
Fact.
Fletch?
I would say fact.
Joe Marfolio?
I'm going to be the odd man out, say fiction.
Okay. I say fact. So, guys, if you want to get explanations on that, you better do a lot of hashtag explain, but it doesn't look like we're getting many. I'm looking on my other screen. So we'll push on to the other question. Guest blogging does not work anymore. So what it means by not working anymore, that you're not going to get any ranking benefit from it, any link juice from it. Guys, is this fact or is this fiction? Fact or fiction? We got a lot of OMGers saying that this is fiction. We'll start out with you, Joe Marfolio. Is this fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
And Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Fiction times about 10 billion.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
I'll say fiction.
Derek Kowalczyk, fact or fiction?
Yeah. Fiction.
It is 100% fiction. So with that, don't think there's really any need to explain that anymore. It says you can rank a website with just Fiverr. With just Fiverr. So guys, you can rank a website with just Fiverr. Is this fact or is this fiction? We will wait to see the response of everyone. And let me fire it back up. And we are saying that we're like getting a lot of fiction. A lot of fiction. And I will start out by answering it. I say fact. Joe Marfolio?
I would say fact.
Greg Morrison?
Fact, but please don't do it.
Fletch? Fact or fiction?
Yeah, fact.
Derek? Fact or fiction?
Yeah, it's a fact.
So, guys, we're not telling you to go out and do this. We're just answering of what's possible. Please, you got to know what you're doing. So I'm just throwing that kind of little disclaimer out there. Just don't think that you're going to go out there and just go experiment if you want, but that I wouldn't try it. It's nothing that I would do. Greg, you might have some better advice to give them.
I mean, like I could go use Fiverr, but I wouldn't even be confident with my skills on Fiverr gig that it would rank. To put it that way.
Right.
So, I mean, you can do it.
Exactly. We'll just go to the next question. A brand new site can rank a competitive 7-pack niche with just citations alone. So, what do you guys think about that? You get all of these. We get every webinar. We get all these 7-pack questions. So let's look at it again. A brand new site can rank a competitive 7-pack niche with just citations alone. So let's see what everyone's saying. We'll go and see what OMGers are saying about this one. We're going to start out with you, Joe Marfolio. Is this fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
And Greg Morrison, fact or fiction?
Say fiction.
Fletch, fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Derek, fact or fiction?
Yeah, I'm going to go with fiction.
And I say fiction as well. So we'll do a couple more questions. It's a good idea to sell map listings alone, meaning without SEO. So let's see how many OMGers and what they say about this one. It's a good idea to rank map listings alone without offering SEO. So we have fiction, we have fact, we have some fictions here. And we will start out with you, Derek. Fact or fiction?
It's a good idea. It's fiction.
Greg Morrison?
Fiction.
Fletch?
Fiction.
Joe Marfolio?
I'm going to have to say fiction on this one.
Yeah, I'm fiction as well. So we'll move it along. Meta tags do not matter. Meta tags do not matter. But guys, is this fact or fiction? So people are saying this is huge fiction. Fiction. We're getting a lot of fictions. Derek, we're going to go with you. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fletch?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison?
Fiction.
Joe Marfolio?
That would be a fiction.
I say fiction as well. Next question. This is a good one. I know it's hard to believe. Link building is dead. We're not even going to ask. We're just going to go straight up. Joe Marfolio?
This is link building is dead. This is fiction.
Greg Morrison?
That's true. I need to bury my head in the sand 'cause I'm done.
Fletch?
I'll be right there with Greg.
Derek?
Oh yeah, it's totally true. It's
Right.
it's fiction.
Yeah. All right. We'll just go to the next one. You can rank a competitive niche with just 2.0s. And let's see what OMGers say about this. I'm interested to see what they say. Fact or fiction, guys? Can you rank a website with just 2.0s? And we're getting a lot of facts. We're getting some people say fiction. We're actually getting more fictions than facts. So we're going to start out with you, Joe Marfolio. Can you rank a competitive niche with just 2.0s?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison?
I say fiction.
Fletch?
Fiction.
Derek?
Am I allowed to power them up?
No, just 2.0. Just 2.0s. No power.
I say fact still.
Okay. I say fiction. So, guys, if you want that explained, we better get a lot of them here quickly. No one cares. Great. Here we go. Google hates SEO. Google hates SEO. I'd like to see what we got with this one here, guys. Fact or fiction? Google hates SEO. People say fact. They're getting some fiction, some facts here. Some fictions, some facts. We'll start out with you, Derek. Does Google hate SEO?
That is fiction.
Fletch?
Fiction.
Greg?
Fiction.
Joe?
I'm going to have to go for fiction for the win.
It is fiction. It is definitely fiction. And I guess we'll just round it up for another 5 minutes to make it an even 3-hour webinar here. So the next question is, SEO type hosting still works? OMGers, is this fact or is this fiction? Fact or fiction? And it looks like we're getting people saying a lot of facts here. We're going to go straight to the source here. Greg Morrison, is this fact or fiction?
That is a fact.
Derek?
That's also a fact.
Fletch?
I would say fact.
Joe?
Fact.
It is a fact. So I don't think we need to really explain that anymore. This is a really good one. You need paid coaching outside your OMG membership to be successful. So I want to see how many people say fact or fiction. Tom says it's a fact. So guys, come on. I really want to see what everyone's got to say here. Fact or fiction. Because I know that a lot of you, and I've seen it happen, pay for coaching outside your $7,000 membership. But we see a lot of fictions right here. I want to see what you guys say. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. And 1,000% fiction. We have a lot of people's fictions here. Okay. We'll start out with you, Joe. Is this fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison?
Fiction.
Fletch?
Fiction.
Derek?
Yeah, that's a fiction.
And it is 100% fiction. So we'll do this one and one more question. I have no idea what the other question is. We're going to wrap it up for the evening. Client SEO is oversaturated right now. Client SEO is oversaturated. Guys, is this fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? And we will go, people say fiction. Guys, let's get these numbers rolling here. Let's see what we got. I want to see what you guys think. Fiction. We're getting some people here. Let's see where we're at. Trying to roll it here. We're getting a lot of fictions. Fiction, it says what keeps his phone ringing. Derek, is this fact or fiction?
That is false or fiction.
Fiction. Fletch.
Fiction.
Greg Morrison.
Fiction.
Joe.
Fiction.
It is 100% fiction. There's so many businesses out there that it's just ridiculous. We don't even need to explain. Last question. I have no idea what this is going to be. SEO will be dead inside of 36 months. So what do you guys think? Meaning, is Google going to go away? Bing going to go away? Is SEO itself, how we know it and do it, going to be dead in the next 36 months? It's an interesting question because I really don't know what some of these guys are going to answer. You know, if you listen to some of the SEO apocalyptic people, they will sit and tell you that the SEO is not going to be around. So having a hard time getting Facebook to come up. I think we've broke the thread. So what we'll do is we're going to start out with you, Joe. Is SEO going to be dead in the next 36 months? Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Greg Morrison?
Impossible. Fiction.
Fletch?
Absolute fiction.
Derek?
Yeah, fiction.
Great. Guys, this concludes our fact and fiction. I know we got off the rails a little bit with the OMG Live stuff. If you had fun with this particular type of webinar, I do have about another 100 questions that we could do a follow-up webinar with this sometime. Just please say hashtag fact or fiction on there even more. And I want you to give a big thanks to everyone that's joined us here tonight. Derek, Fletch, Greg, Joe, Steven. They've given their free time. I had a tremendous amount of fun doing this. Hopefully you've learned something, guys. You can go back and watch this. You've got a lot of valuable information on here from a lot of people doing incredibly well at SEO. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And not sure what the assimilation webinar will be next week, but we'll get something lined up for you that will definitely be amazing. And we'll see you next week. And thanks all you guys. Anyone have any last words before we go?
Thanks, Scott, in person. Appreciate it, man.
Sure. Fletch?
Yeah, awesome, Cotton. Thanks,
Great.
bud.
Great.
Always great to be on.
Joe, Derek?
Yeah, thanks, man. This was, I had an absolute blast, man. This was fun.
Great. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.